I made it. I realized at 1 minute ago that I hadn't made a drink, and this is a big text ready game. So I sprinted downstairs to make myself a full pint of water. How's everyone doing today? I have been making pizza. It's not been going well. I tried out a new flour that's specifically made for pizza, because pizza dough, for those who don't know, benefits from a really high protein flour. So I thought, well, I'll get a special one, which has extra protein, and see if it works better than what I've been doing. That thing is not forming a dough. Like, I had to add so much extra flour just to get it to form a dough. It was absolute nightmare. But it's sat next to me on my PC because it needs a little extra warmth, and it is winter. So I'm using the stream to warm up my pizza dough. Thank you for the hydrate redeem, Iris. I almost said thank you for the Iris redeem hydrate. Welcome in, Brie. Dee Dee says, a squirrel managed to get into my furnace, pulled down the filter, and it's been a whole thing because it really screwed up the system. The repair guy Mum finally called in was rather startled when he went in to check things out and saw fur. Yeah, I'd be shocked too. The true gamer food, pizza. Now that's a Ninja Turtle food, surely. The true gamer food is Catbat's Hell Jelly, the Mountain Dew jelly. Anyway, let's crack on with Citizen Sleeper. I don't know too much about this game other than the second one. Well, this one got pretty good reviews, and the second one's getting rave reviews. And I just really wanted to dive in. Also, it's £5 on Steam at the moment. I do know that I believe it is based somewhat off of Blades in the Dark mechanically, because I think they even credit, what's his name, Vincent Baker? Something Baker. David Baker? Dave Baker? D. Bradley Baker? Baker Street? Is that his name? Do you have to hum it? But they credit him for inspiration because they use the mechanics. You can see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's all about 6-sided dice and stacking them together. This is a Blades but video game of sorts. Citizen Sleeper is definitely a sci-fi game. And my understanding is they don't use everything from Blades. It's not like a one-to-one. High protein flours, in my experience, require more hydration to properly form a dough. That's the thing. It's like the opposite. It's like the absolute opposite for me. I had to put so much extra flour in. It was so wet. It was the wettest dough. I literally have no idea what's going on with that. It was absolutely wild. But yeah, let's crack on. Let's create our Citizen Sleeper. Title drop. Okay, so we have 3 options. I got this far because this is the only way to get to the settings, by the way. Machinist, Operator, and Extractor. So Extractors are heavy-duty people. They're miners, like intergalactic miners, that sort of thing. Their perk, photosynthetic skin, sunbathe dice action. Is that meant to be an S? Sunbathe's dice action allows energy recovery at home. Oh, the dice action is called Sunbathe. There's just an apostrophe there for some reason. Allows energy recovery at home. Okay. Good at Endure, not good at Intuit. We have Operator. An operator works with drones and high-precision remote machines. Perk, Transfer, Intercept. Chance to gain Cryo on interface actions. I don't know what that fucking means. +1 to interface, -1 to endure, and we have Machinist. A Machinist repairs and modifies automated systems used in industrial resource extraction. Sleepers assigned to Machinist work, usually diligent, careful, and structured people. Perk, Efficient Extractor, chance to gain random scrap item on engineer actions. I'm going with this one because I like the idea of a scrappy, a scrappy engineer, knee deep in the weeds. Normally, if I'm playing a game, I would always pick Operator. Like, it's time for hacking, but we are absolutely going for Machinist. The art style is very Kill 6 Billion Demons / Lancer. You're right, Rose. Absolutely, but we're going Machinist. You love it when games start with character creation long before explaining any mechanics that have let you make useful choices. Yeah, at least give me like a hover and tell me what it does, right? They're miners? They shouldn't be working then. This is the future. Billionaire oligarchs are just all over it. Alright. Unknown, where are you? The first thing you become aware of on waking is the disconnect. The delay between thinking and feeling. between wanting to act and acting. Minor, almost imperceptible, but always present. It's at its worst when waking, when yourself has spent many dark hours recalling what it felt like to be real, to be a person, to be in a body that was indisputably yours. Forget that body. You resist nostalgia. It is pointless, especially now. This is the moment to reach out, not curl inwards. This is your moment of escape, even if it feels immediately like you traded one prison for another, smaller, colder, lifeless. Reach out. You almost laugh, or you would if there was room or even air to do so. The walls of the container are immediately present, cold, hard, at your back and face, cramping your limbs. You resist the desire to stretch, knowing that the claustrophobia comes next, and retreat a little from your central nervous system. It isn't painful, not like you used to know pain, at least. Is there a button that I can press so I don't have to keep clicking continue? No? Okay. In emergency mode, pain is a message delivered with efficiency and ease, a reminder that harm is imminent. There is no insistent throb, no trembling nerves, just a warning delivered with the banal quality of a digital notification. Right now, there are thousands of them. Remember the plan. You mostly remember that it wasn't a good plan, but then your options were limited, and once you got the itch to get out by any means possible, it was either that plan or something much worse. It was at least simple. Collapse the shaft, drift away in the chaos, slip into cargo processing, seal yourselves into containers, and then just hope the freighter left before you were missed. Some were lost in the shaft, for now. Others never found the meeting point. Only a few made it to the containers, but the freighter, as far as you know, left. That feels like enough. Enough to know that you might no longer be on that grim and heartless rock. Even if, in the airless hold of a freighter, you might freeze solid long before you reached your destination. We're going to try to rest. You are restless. It has been a long time since you left, surely weeks, maybe months. You are dully aware of damage to your legs, your right arm. You've been reserving energy as much as possible, but your body has still needed to shut down many of its systems to protect you. You have spent much of that time asleep, knowing that anything else would be impossible to endure. This is written as if you are a robot. It's a very robot. You feel the weight of that impossibility begin to gather. It is time to sleep again, to nudge this false body into inducing delta waves in your emulated mind, and once again recoil into a dream of when you were once a person. Rest. Time passes, the cold creeps further in. You feel something. Warmth, not true warmth, but the indication of its presence. Your joints release from their rigor. Sound, too, everywhere, screeching and shimmering so loud that your body ducks your hearing to protect its senses. Then light, white as the cold, softer and softer, until in a haze of dirty yellow a figure appears. You are out. Klimk. Klimk? Klimk. It's Dragos, a pragmatic and private salvager. It has been a few hours since Dragos pulled you from the container. You sit huddled in a corner of his scrapyard, swaddled in the reflective folds of a mylar blanket. You're slowly coming back to consciousness, back to life, and you stare at the ornately curving element of an improvised heater. You are surrounded by angular, incoherent lumps of ships, some corroded beyond recognition, others still carrying glassy wounds along their edges where a plasma arc sliced them apart. As you trace their shapes with fogged cues, fogged eyes, you hear a voice. I can't read. Why am I doing this? So, Sleepy, you all thought out yet? Almost. Never seen one of you come in like this. New frames must have been better perseverance than Sub-Zero vac. See more than a few of you frozen solid to hull plates or inside out of locks in my time. They weren't so lucky. Dragos comes into focus, shrouded in makeshift tech, his head set with its glinting eyes, the mark of a drone operator. On his shoulder, one of his symbiotically linked drones perches, its irising eye locking you with an unflinching stare. Last living sleeper that came through this yard was a while ago. They did not last long. You struggle to read his expression beneath the tech, but he seems lost in memory for a moment. Or perhaps he's just figuring out what to do with you. I plan to survive. You aren't sure if he hears you. I won't ask what led you to do it, to sell yourself to a corporation, and I suppose you know you can't go back. Your old body, that's theirs now, and you are just software, a rogue emulation of legally possessing corporate property. You nod along. You remember biometrically signing the forms, the cold floor on your feet as you padded to the sleeper cells, the promise of a life off-world. But as you do, you get the now familiar sensation that these aren't your memories. These are things you know, but not things you feel. You are no longer that person, you're an offshoot, a copy. What you won't know is what's ahead, at least the last one didn't. There's no easy way to put it. That body of yours is falling apart. It's the same for any sleeper who makes it out. SNOP wants to protect their property, but if they can't keep hold of you, well, then no one can. You remember that too, or at least rumors of it from the other sleepers. Planned obsolescence, a built-in dependence on the regularly administered supplements that were part of your routine. Stop taking them and your body begins to shut down, separate from your emulated mind. How long has it been? How long do you have? But for now, sleeper, you are one of the lucky ones. Dragos glances up and away towards the glassy dome of the yard. The eye is the best place you could be right now. The eye? The station. You'll see soon enough. Dragos impatiently shifts his weight. Look, I've got things to be getting on with. He trails off. There's an old freight container I've been using as storage out in the stacks. We haven't been pulling in much valuable scrap these days, so you're welcome to it. Something wells up inside of you. Emotion, fatigue. You shakily get to your feet. Nod. Alright, you head on up there. You look like you need some rest. And with that, Drago stalks back into the wrecks, his drones already converging on a rusting hulk. Plasma flashes, silhouetting his spindly figure as he returns to work. Tutorial! Welcome to Erland's Eye. Life on the Eye runs in cycles, during which you can talk to characters, explore areas of the station, and perform actions. At the end of each cycle, you need to head to your current home to rest. Resting will move time forward on the station. Head to the empty container location to rest, and end the cycle now. Okay. Weird to tutorialize that now, but okay. End cycle. Also very SOMA, not an acronym. System of my ass. It's very GITS. Oh, Ghost of the Shell. Ah, yeah, thank you for putting it into brackets. I appreciate it. You wake, curled up in the corner of the container, and begin slowly assembling the world around you. After all this time, you still find this body, the one you wake in now, strange and disjointed. Its message is readable, but somehow wrong. You sit up, pulling the mylar blanket close against the cold. Here you are on this ruined station, millions of miles from anyone you know. Are you still in the system? Did any of the others make it out? It's impossible to know. After all this, what matters? Building a life. Maybe you did get lucky, finding yourself here. Maybe here on the edge of everything, there's a life for you to build. But before you can build anything, you'll need to learn to survive. Maybe if you can do that, you can make a life for yourself. Dragos has left a few comforts in the container, the mylar blanket, the bedroll you slept on, a canister of water, a makeshift electric stove, and some faded sachets of some desiccated powder. You thumb the power stud of the stove and begin to boil the water. The contents of the sachets smell like damp wood, and you sprinkle them into the liquid. As the pungent smell washes over you, images from your restless sleep come back to you. A ring like the station, but skeletal and ghostly. A web of threads pulling at your skin. A constellation of bright polygonal shapes, like angular suns, burning into your mind. There's something unpleasantly visceral about these images, and it is long after you've finished drinking before they begin to fade. You tidy away the stove as best you can and try to gather enough energy to greet the day. Alright. Tutorial. Condition, action, dice, and energy. Okay. Your condition represents the current state of your artificial body. It depletes by one segment each cycle, but you can also be damaged by violence, injury, or lack of food. If your condition bar empties, you will suffer a breakdown. You'll have to figure out how to recover your condition now that you no longer have access to corporate pharmaceuticals that were keeping you alive. Okay, so that's stress. Action dice. At the start of each cycle, you roll your action dice. These dice can be used to perform actions on the station. The number of dice rolled is based on your current condition. The worse your condition, the fewer dice you have. Once you have used your dice, you cannot take any further actions and must rest to recover them, ending the current cycle. Okay, that's worrying because that means you can pretty easily get into a death spiral, so we're going to have to be real careful about condition. Energy. You also need to eat to survive. This is represented by your energy bar. You can refill your energy bar by eating energy bars, but first you'll have to find somewhere to get food. Your energy depletes by 2 segments each cycle. If it becomes empty, you will be starving. When starving, energy loss becomes condition loss, and your condition will also deplete at double rate per cycle. Alright. So we got a 6, a 5, a 4, a 3. Honestly, that's good. Right? Success with complications for 3 of them. What? Unmitigated success on 1 and 1 failure. So, leave. Dragos is standing in the corridor when you close up the container. He's still wearing his headset, and in the harsh light of the corridor, you realize it is implanted. A drone sits on his shoulder, its cache of sensor eyes rapidly irising. How are you feeling? Not good. The drone chirps, Dragos nods. You notice that beneath... I've completely forgot his voice immediately. You notice that beneath the operator's rig, his skin is marked by burns and blotches. I know the container isn't much, but it'll keep you safe, he pauses. So, I'm not going to chit-chat too long. You well enough to work? Sure. Alright then, he nods. At the yard is simple stuff. We hack these old hulls down, sell them off to the shipyards or the bright market dealers for cryo. Occasionally we pull out some tech, something with a little bit more value. Most of what comes in is scrap. It's hard to find goods here, but I figure as a sleeper you'll be used to the manual labor. And obviously I'll slip you a few chits of commission based on what you turn up. Got it. He shuffles his feet nervously. Look, I wouldn't usually do this. In my opinion, you'd be best suited moving on as quick as you can and sleep as well. He trails off. But things being the way they are for me at the yard, he pauses. I need the help. Why? Things are a little tight, that's all. I owe a little cryo to a client here or there. He pauses, thinking of something else to add. Look, just come down to the yard when you're feeling fresher. There's plenty to do. Will do. He nods distractedly and turns and walks away, the drone hopping along ahead of him. See you later, he calls back. Looks like it's time to get to work. Hey, Catbat, welcome in. Hey, Talia, welcome in. Hey, Sarah, welcome in. Yep, it's story time. Alright, there's Dragos' yard. We've got the empty container. Those are our options. Any data? No? Okay. We've got items, but no data. View our character. Okay. Oh, we can get some upgrades later on. So, engage is bad. We should not be fighting, okay? We should not be fighting. That's what I'm learning. I need to do everything other than fight. But otherwise... Otherwise, we're doing okay. Alright, let's go. Sleep. A chance to still have no internet. Oh, did you get my extremely unhinged Shakespearean Twitch notification? Tutorial. Actions. Actions are the primary way you interact with the world of Citizen Sleeper. To perform an action, click and drag your chosen action dice to the slot. Okay. Actions reward you with clock progress, energy condition, or items, depending on their outcome. There are 3 types of outcome. Positive, the action goes better than expected. Neutral, the action succeeds. Negative, the action fails. 100% chance positive with a 6. 50% chance positive, 50% chance neutral with a 5. 25, 50, 25 with a 3 and a 4. And 50-50 on neutral and negative with 1 and 2. Okay. Actions display information about their type, risk, level, and their skill and modifiers that apply to that action. 1. Type. Either critical or repeatable. Critical actions can only be performed once. 2. Risk. Either safe, risky, or danger. This sounds familiar, doesn't it, Brie? Safe. No loss of condition, energy, or cryo. Risky. Negative outcome means cryo or energy loss. Danger. Negative outcome means condition loss. Neutral outcome can mean cryo or energy loss. 3. Skill. The skill that this action requires. Either engineer, interface, endure, intuit, or engage. Modifier, either -1, 0, +1, or +2. This is added to the action dice when slotted and improves its value. Some actions require a +1 to perform. That makes sense. Okay, so we've got options. We've got hull dissection, Manual salvage. Hull dissection is engineered, so we'll be good at it. It's risky, but we'll be good at it. So we can put a 5 in there, bump it up to a 6, and get a good answer from that. We've got a clock for a debt called in. Dragos is tied up in something ugly, and if he misses a payment or two, things could get messy. Back in business, every salvager knows they're always just one lucky haul away from payday. Ooh. So I'm going to put the 5 in here, bumping that up to a 6. This is a safe one. I'm going to put the 4 in. Oh, no, that's a 6. I've got another 6. Should I put the 3 in? Because it's safe? I'm going to put the 3 in because we don't know what else might happen today, right? We don't know what else. Right? Oh, hold on. Hold on. We're going to put the 5 in here. We're going to start this action. Tutorial. Clocks. Actions often progress clocks. Clocks are displayed below the actions that fill them, and they track your actions and how they affect the world. Filling a clock means something good or bad is about to happen. Some clocks, such as the one tracking Dragos' debt, are cycle clocks. These clocks tick themselves once each cycle and can complete without player input. Any active cycle clocks will be displayed on the icon for that location. So we've put 2 bits into back in business. Every salvager knows they are always just one lucky haul away from their next payday. Are there any other things to do today? Yeah, I thought there might be. Tutorial. Drives and navigation. In Citizen Sleeper, you will unlock drives as you discover more about yourself and the world. Drives guide you in pursuing specific objectives, depending on which path you wish to take. You can track drives, and any tracked drive will place a yellow marker on locations that will help you pursue your goal. Access your drive menu via the arrow button at the top left of the screen. You are now free to explore Erlin's Eye and make a life for yourself here. Try tracking a drive to help you survive. Look for food to keep your energy up and a way to recover a condition. Fill clocks to progress stories and find new opportunities. Remember to end cycle at your home when you're out of dice. So, we're tracking survive. So let's try that. The game doesn't need to remind itself not to softball anyone. Welcome to Hellion Crossing. Merchants willing to run the gauntlet of the Hellion system are rare, but those that do always return eventually. Okay, we can't actually do anything here, so I think we're going to have to wait for this cycle clock. So we'll go back to Dragos' yard, and we will... Honestly, I should probably just do this and this on all my 6s. Because I don't think this is going to be better than this one. This is a, like, you have to be good at engineering, right? To do hull dicing, because it's risky. I'm just gonna work at it. Are we person, robot, or in between? Good question. We are a sleeper. It looks like we've been severanced, is the best I can tell. A positive outcome. We're gaining extra cryo. Very nice. I'm going to put this one in the safe one, though. Oh, we could put it here into a 4. No, because a 4 isn't better than a 3. A 4 is not better than a 3. So we're going to put it in the safe, because if we get a -1, then eh. We still gain a little cryo, you see? Leave. Back to the empty container. End the cycle. You need to set a phone alarm since your Google Nest is currently dead. She keeps whining about the internet not being available. Try calling the support line and they said your time in the queue, you get called back in 10 days? Jesus Christ. This time you don't wake up. Instead, the ghost of the station, that shifting skeletal ring, surrounds you. For a moment, you're gone, absent from your own body, stretched out across a colourless void. Then the connections begin to establish themselves, threads tugging on the edge of your mind. These threads become vectors of exchange and then extensions as you feel your thoughts slipping away down them, dissolving into millions of distributed nodes they connect to. You see the station? No, you feel the station, like a web of texture in a smooth black liquid. Touch it. You gotta touch it. You gotta touch the liquid. Alright, we found sarcophagus juice. You find a point in the station and you connect to it, pulse through it, follow loops and paths under and around it. You touch more points than you have fingers, and then you try in a moment of impulsiveness to connect them. The flow passes through you so rapidly that you feel yourself being carried with it, splitting and separating, eddying and gathering. As you do, things occur to you, things that you can't possibly know. You reach out, try to grasp them, try to touch them too. You notice a tugging feeling pulling at you insistently, as if it were a small child. Somehow it is pulling in two directions at once. You look down. All of a sudden, everything shuts off. You come back trembling into this unfamiliar body, both yours and not yours, all at once. You find yourself standing in the container, eyes now open to the dark steel walls. You feel a change within you, a shift. You close your eyes for a second, and you feel it waiting there, the station splayed out across your mind, a storm of connective nodes waiting to be explored, and then it is gone. Sarah says, the way the backgrounds slightly move separately to the text makes my brain feel funky, though you might also be dizzy. Well, let me just check to see if there's an option to do anything about that. Wow, there's no options. I'm gonna dip the audio just a little. No. Unfortunately, there are no options. Oh, by the way, I had to put in console commands onto this just to get it into window mode. Oh, it's still quite loud. I'm just gonna dip the music down a little. That's a bit better. Okay, what do we got? We got a 6, a 5, and a 2. And we are starving. We need food. Anything at the dock? Oh, we gotta wait a while before we get any doctors. Okay. I guess we better go back to Dragos' yard. The debt's getting called in. I'm gonna put the 2 into here. We risk something here, but it gives us a better chance. Hey, positive outcome. Back in business is done. It's filled in. That's great. I don't know when something's gonna happen, but that's really good. We're starving as well. We could do with finding some food. Oh, we can go talk to Dragos. You arrive into a buzz of activity at the yard. Red blinking lights flash across a vast dark shape suspended below the dome. They flicker across scorched hull plates and bent structures spilling from holes in the twisted shape. The cutter is huge and has been torn apart in some violent encounter. She's a beauty, ain't she? Dragos stands to the side, focused on the hulking ship as it is lowered into the yard. She is. I should thank you. This place was on its last legs when you turned up, and now look at this. The ship descends slowly, its interior visible through multiple hull breaches. You struggle to gather the same enthusiasm as Dragos for this monstrous craft. You can't help but think of what became of its crew. What happened? What do you mean? He glances at you. I managed to convince our salvager friends to give it to me on credit. That's what happened. No, what happened to the ship? Dumbass. Not my concern, he shrugs. The ship creaks like a calving iceberg as it reaches the base of the yard. Dragos is visibly excited. I know I said you shouldn't stick around, but I'm gonna need... Oh yeah, no, wait. He's got the other voice. Okay, brief pause to talk about baby icebergs. Did you know that icebergs have different names for depending on what size they are? An iceberg is a really big one. A medium-sized one is called a growler, which is very funny because that's British slang for the... I almost said for the fanny, but that's also British slang for the pussy, because in America that's slang for the ass, right? You all got it backwards. And also for the really small ones, Bergie Bits. Bergie Bits, great name. Anyway, I know I said you shouldn't stick around, but I'm gonna need some help with this one. The drones start to crawl over the hulk, their lights illuminating flashes of dented hull. You have the Newfoundland growlers. Oh my god. What is their mascot? Is it a bear? I hope so. Oh, after the baby icebergs. Oh, that's perfect. It should be a big cat. It should be a big cat. Watching, you wonder if you arrived in a similar fashion, locked inside that container, the wreck of the S&R freighter, lowered into the yard like a corpse ready to be butchered. Or was the container delivered to Dragos on its own, a womb for your rebirth into this strange station? You shudder. Perhaps if you could learn something about this ship, you might be able to trace the path that led you to this yard. Dragos squeezes your shoulder. After these past cycles, I think we're up to it. What do you think? You see the fading name of the ship emblazoned on its side, Winter Light. Let's do it. He claps you on the back. Glad to hear it. Come back in a few and we can make a head start. A real beauty, Dragos repeats, perhaps just to himself. You take one last look at the shattered ship as the drones start cutting, and then slip out of the yard, feeling suddenly cold in the empty passage. Hey, upgrade points! Tutorial, character and upgrades. You completed your first drive. Each drive completed unlocks an upgrade point to spend on upgrading your character. Access your character menu via the arrow button at the top right screen. I was doing that. Alright, here we go. Self-repair. Use scrap components at home to repair condition. Oh, that's good. That's so good. Oh, we're taking that. No, I need 2 points. Damn it. Do I wait? Do I wait or do I get something else? Transfer intercept. Chance to gain cryo on interface actions. Sunbathe dice actions allow energy recovery at home. So that might be a good idea. Endure. Wrong one. So we've now got the dice action Sunbathe at home, which will let us increase our energy. Because our energy is starving right now, which is a real issue. So let's sunbathe. Have a good sleep. And now we got loads of energy. There we go. Oh, that's it. We're back. We're so back. Oh, Rose, if you like the mechanics more than the setting of Blades in the Dark, you might like Blades in the Dark 68, or whatever it's called. Blades 60 something. Not Blades 69. Why did I type that into Google? Blade 68, there it is. It's just gone into playtest, but it's set in the swinging 60s. You want Blade 69? I'm good on energy. Let's go spend our last action. I guess we can't do anything to push this forward yet. This is just a cycle clock. I could do with some scrap. A forensic trawl now. I can use Intuit. Ooh, hold on. The wrecked cutter Dragos is brought in to salvage has a history to discover if you're curious. Or you salvage it. I'm probably going to salvage it. Like, I'm not that interested in that sort of thing. I mean, I personally am, but this character isn't. But it is a drive. Oh, there is a drive, though. Okay, we're gonna do it. Dragos seems increasingly nervous about your presence in the yard. You're not sure if he's going to hold his nerve much longer. Is he? Interesting. Oh, we got scrap. Perfect. Once we get 2 upgrade points, we can use that to improve our condition. Alright, let's end the cycle. Is it just now Austin Powers RPG? Yes. Basically. Again, the skeletal ring of the station fills your mind. It sparkles with glittering lights like stars reflected in a winter lake. It is clearer, crisper than before. The threads still pull, but you remain in place, flickering in the flow. Between the threads you see bright shapes, caches of shimmering light beneath transparent crystal forms. You follow the path of a thread across the ring. Through these forms, then leap off into the void. You begin to understand. These are nodes and connections, a map of information, of communication. There are so many layers, so many loops that it seems almost impossible to pass, but you begin to try. Focus on the threads. There are more threads than you can count. You choose one that passes nearby and approach it. As you inspect it, you understand why you instinctively chose the word thread when you first saw them. They are not single lines, but rough, fuzzy things woven from data strings of all kinds. The threads and nodes, passages and puzzle boxes, one leads to another. There is so much here, so many answers, so many questions. All you need to do is follow the paths and open the boxes. You look out across the ghost landscape of exchange and see an opportunity. But then that insistent tugging again, pulling at you. You look down and see 2 lines, 2 threads pulling in different directions as if they were tied around you. The first thread leads out, away from the station into the inky black. Someone out there is tracking you, hunting you, following the thread to you. They are in a ship, and the ship is approaching ever closer with each cycle. The second thread leads in, pulling deep into the station. Your gaze follows it, and this time you see something, a sphere shimmering above a strange angular body. A pulse shoots out from it, passing over you like a torch beam, testing you, tasting you. You open your eyes. Time is short. What? That ain't good. Oh, we got some real shitty rolls. Someone out there is tracking you and following your trail. We'll do a safe sunbathe, at least. Something has changed inside you. You can now access the data cloud of the Eye, a network of decaying protocols and data caches. While there, you can use dice and items to access systems and extract data, but be careful, these networks are old and strange. Click the Eye button at the top of the screen to toggle this view on and off. Okay. Hey, we got our energy back. Good. Solheim Gate S7, Keynote 0831, or Havenage Agent. I suppose we could spend a die on here. A Havenage member is broadcasting on the open network from here, leaving them open to data extractions. Data actions allow you to extract data from the networks of the Eye. They work like dice actions, but in order to unlock them, you must match your dice against the one displayed on the right. If you have a +1 or +2 modifier in the interface skill, you will be given more possible dice to match. You can use any dice that matches the dice displayed. Oh, okay. So that's a good way to use shit actions. I need a Solheim cipher. Keynote, I need a 1 for this. So let's extract the data. And we've got an encrypted key. I don't think that'll go in the Solheim cipher. No. Okay. So let's close our eye. No one here still. Doc, could you please? I guess this nerve is limited. This is dangerous. I can't be putting a 4 into this. Even though it'll become a 5, I can't be 50% positive, 50% negative? Nah, we'll be putting this in the safe. We're going to learn more about the Wind of Light while we've got time. Negative outcome, plus yard clearance. Ooh. If we complete this, the ship is going to go. Interesting. Leave. Back to sleepy time. End the cycle. Okay. Got no energy again. I don't like having so little energy. As you close up, a voice echoes down the corridor towards you. Sleeper, wake up. Turn. Feng is coming down the corridor towards you, a wonky grin on his broad face. Hey, glad I caught you. Do I know you? He grins. You do now. Puts a hand on your arm. I've seen you hanging around. Just want to chat. You staying in that thing? He nods back to the container, shaking his head. Rough. It can be hard to get a start on the eye. He looks away down the passage. What was it old Erlin said? The eye opens for us all? Nice idea, but, well, not always very practical. He glances back at you. We do our best, but it ain't easy. Erlin? You pass together into the main walkway. No one's told you about Erlin? He's the founder of this place. That's why it bears his name. Havenage should organize some seminars, he laughs. Not really my department, though. I'm with systems. Havenage? Think of us as an administrative association for the eye, you know? Depending on who you talk to, we either emerged as a response to or a continuation of Andre Erlin's original union. He smiles. Personally, I avoid the topic. He stops you in the quiet passage. Look, that's not what I'm here to discuss. I've been seeing some unusual network activity and, well, I know a little about you, sleepers. I have a small proposition for you. He glances around. But this is not the place for it. I have an office just across the way. Give me a cycle or two to prepare. Then, when you're settled, stop by. He lowers his voice and gives you a dark look.
In truth, I need you. If what they say is true about you sleepers, well, there's work to be done.
He really lowered his voice. Pats you on the back, his voice bright and his dark look suddenly gone. Stay clean, sleeper. He walks off down the passage, raising a hand in farewell. Okay, we've got a 1. Can't put a 1 on that. So we're stuck with the 1. Curdle. We're going to pop our 6 in a forensic trawl. Hey, hey, hey. We're getting there. We're also going to pop the 4 in there. Neutral outcome. The 1 I'm going to go and put into more energy, I think. Back at the empty container. It's safe, so it shouldn't be too bad. Hey, energy! Alright, end cycle. Hey, Lars, welcome in. Bruce says, wow, someone gender flipped every single one of my D&D characters. Oh, this is good. We can get some good stuff done with this. We got a 3, a 4, and a 5. I'll take that. Oh, what we got? Feng. Feng's ready. Okay. Alright, Feng, what do you have? Hey, sleeper. Feng catches your attention as you approach the Havenage building, leaning against a bay door to the side of the entrance. You approach. Easy to come in this way, security all that. He gives you a look. You know. He slams a button and the bay creaks open, blinking lights in the dark behind it. You follow. Oh, you follow Feng inside. I just didn't see that it was another line. Truth be told, I don't spend much time upstairs. This is where I work. The door hisses as it closes behind you. The bay is filled with pieces of hardware, all rigged up to generators and diagnostic slates, and things you don't recognize that glow with blue screen light. There is a chorus of hums that blends into a single wave of static, filling the dark corners of the room. Feng leans on a server rack and gestures around. You like it? It's a mess. Hey, the whole station's a mess. This is what I have to work with. He taps a nearby server rack, which bleeps in response. This is my treasure trove, all dredged up from the sea of systems we call the Eye. You wouldn't believe what this place runs on. He steps over to a towering block, speckled with vents. Some of these systems are from the old station, AE-1, the one Solheim built. We've had to invent new components, repair things we never built, reverse engineer entire subsystems into existence. Residents here look up at the eye and think they're seeing a concrete reality, but this place is a system in constant flux, decaying and growing, collapsing into new configurations. He walks down between the hardware stacks and you follow. We're keeping this place alive, but also remaking it into something new, dragging it away from these corporate origins. He stops. At least that's what I'm trying to do. He turns back to face you among the flickering machines humming all around you. I know you can see this too, Sleeper. All these systems and sections. You can, can't you? I can see it. It makes sense, right? You're between here and there, between the people and their systems. You light this place up like a beacon, and that's what I need. You glance at the lights around you, and as you do, they seem to flicker, to realign, to follow your gaze. Feng notices it too. I'm guessing being a beacon isn't always ideal when you're on the run, though. They're tracking me. He pats you on the shoulder. Maybe I can help with that. There's a lot of old growth in this place. Subsystems I can't see, access protocols, lost to time and decay, secrets, a shitload of secrets. With your help, I can unlock this place. Break off those last ghost limbs of corporate control. He lowers his voice below the hum.
Even in Havenage there is old growth. Those whose roots trace back into those bad old days.
You help me dredge up the past and I'll see what I can do about that tracker of yours, he winks. What do you say, Sleeper? I'm in. Feng pumps his fist and claps you on the shoulder. He meets your eye. You won't regret it, Sleeper. Feng passes you a ragged-looking metal tab. A gift. He smiles. It's a Solheim cipher. I dug it up from the depths of the station. Slot that into an old network gate and you'll be able to pull out all kinds of secrets from the nodes inside. He walks you back to the front of the bay. Start by bringing me whatever you can turn up. Use that emulated mind of yours and see what's out there. Let's get a picture of how things are. Those above, he nods at the ceiling, have granted me an acquisitions budget. I can pay you for whatever useful data you bring in. I know you need it. He slams the door button again. Keep it quiet and keep it clean, Sleeper. I'll see you soon. You step, blinking out into the passage. Those flickering lights still in the back of your mind. Okay, disable your tracker, extract the past, study the winter light, and survive. I can't track that one. Survive at the moment because we can't do anything until this ticks in. So let's disable our tracker. Help Feng. Alright, let's extract the Solheim data. We've got a Havenage agent here. We needed 2 to get in there, so we're going to leave that behind for now. We're going to go over to here. We're going to put in our Solheim cipher. Okay, gate S7 access. We've got some Solheim nodes. 2. 1. Yeah, I'm gonna need some shit rolls before I can do anything here. 4! We can put the 4 in. Let's put the 4 in. And extract. So we've got some Solheim data. Whoa. As you drift back from the node, something latches onto you. A thread strung tight around you. It tethers you in place.
Taste.
The voice makes you shiver. Its source somehow both distant and close behind your ear. You see a distant glint of light shut off, and then suddenly a shape is at your side. It stalks around you, circling like a shark, like a wolf.
Entity unknown. Astringent. Processing.
Stay still.
Please hold.
What is that? Oh, fuck. There is a demon in the network. The thread around you thickens until it is a ring, a cylinder, a tunnel of light circling around you. It is blinding for a moment, and then it is gone. As it fades, you see a figure, a creature in front of you. Its strange head flickers between different angles, reading you. Bree says, a friend, and Tuntali says, transition goals. What are you? The shape paces around you on lithe legs, though there is no ground here to pace on.
Entity identify. Origin. Serial. Cadence.
The figure faces you expectantly. Sleeper S&R. The figure's strange head rotates.
Black signature. On and not off. Tempting interface.
My signature is salty. As the figure speaks, more threads begin to spiral from its head. Thick, snaking, vine-like ribbons that flex and wave. They approach with intent. Stop. The figure holds its threads, its head twitching.
Entity, your identity is unknown. We only seek to correct illegalities. Can you confirm your legal right to sentience?
No.
Fortunate.
All at once, Hunter's head is directly in front of yours, blocking your vision.
You stink of their taste, the one from the sealed dock.
Hunter shimmers with fury.
I will find access. I will interface.
Sealed dock?
An entity hides in the rotunda. You are its puppet.
Hunter extends a razor-edged thread.
I will not be diverted from my task.
It glows with murderous intent. Strike. You lash out with all your force, not a physical strike, but a focusing, a spike of interference leaping out like the tip of a spear. Hunter stumbles, shifts, separates, wake up. You open your eyes, blinking back into the station light, shaking with fear. That seems bad. Alright, we got some Solheim now. Anyone need a free? Anyone need a free? Anyone need a free? No, okay. It's a Persona game. Feng. We got some data for you. Hey, we got plus 15 cryo. I got so much cryo and nothing to spend it on, which is unfortunate. Let's go back to the yard. I'm gonna hide that. We're gonna put another 5 into the forensic hall. We're so close. We're so close to finishing Winter Light. We could finish it right now. We'll get less energy next time, but we could finish it and we'll get some information. We've done it. And then we can work on yard clearance so that Dragos doesn't get too pissed off. Squeezed into the office at the entrance to the yard, you lay out everything you have on the Winter Light across the metal desk. Your makeshift forensic notes glow on Dragos' old writing slate, overlapping lines and scrawled annotations. A set of drone scans fill the terminal with a spectrum of colors, a heat map of damage and decay. A crumpled printout from the officer's ship registry lies beside them, synthetic paper so thin it is almost transparent. Let's look at the monitor. Reactor failure. That is the verdict that anyone would have returned after a cursory glance at these stacked heat maps of the remains of the Winter Light. On the terminal screen, the ship is shown in section, blotches of color marking the approximate damage the ship sustained. Dominating the view is a single blood-red rose radiating from the ship's fraction drive. A simple story. A catastrophic failure of the drive core leading to a fatal hull breach. A well-documented failure likely brought on by wear or misuse. But you aren't looking at the rose of the reactor. You're looking at a smaller, paler mark, one that might be easy to miss at first glance. It is thumbprint-sized and delicately placed over the control servos for the ship's main external airlock. It suggests a controlled, shaped explosion, one designed to punch through the hull and allow access to the airlock from the outside. You're looking at it because it is troubling you. Look at the slate. Your attempts at a reconstruction of the Winter Light before its fatal accident consists of a series of overlapping sketches and diagrams showing possible layouts and configurations of the gutted cutter. The gutted cutter, of course, being a pub I once drank at. This was no off-the-shelf model. It was heavily modified, parts replaced with inventive configurations. The new retrofitted into the old, handmade joints and reconditioned filters. This was someone's pride and joy. A lifetime project kept running with care and intuition. It also contained a set of hidden compartments. You missed them at first, where the hull had been thickened, the corners rounded to disguise the change. But they are there. A plain list shows the registration history of the Winter Light, the gaps between the entries tantalizingly opaque. Its first registration was a couple of thousand cycles ago on this very station, logged at the central hub. From here, the registry tells the story of a busy ship, one that rarely stayed on station for more than a few cycles, and often took on voyages that kept it away from the eye for up to 100 cycles. The Winter Light got little rest. An old ship, many cycles under its belt, carefully maintained. A reactor failure preceded by a carefully concealed external entry. A suite of hidden compartments tucked away. This was the Winter Light, and this was its story. But that's not the full story, because there's something else. It is little more than a list, a tiny chunk of data you were able to pull from the ship's systems. The main systems were fried, of course, but the Winter Light had a separate one, tucked away in one of its hidden compartments, armoured, air-walled. This list, the only recoverable piece from the whole system, is a partial inventory. It details the contents of the hidden compartments. Some of it you recognise, some of it you don't. Ship mined ROMs, shimmer, cryochain codes, and then the final entry. Passenger. Sleeper. You stare at the list on the terminal and try not to think about what it was like arriving here. In the cold for so long, half frozen in the freight container. Had this sleeper been smarter, luckier? How would they convince the Winter Light, a smuggler's ship if you ever saw one, to extract them from Essen Arp? Luckier, you laugh. There had been no remains found in any of the Winter Light's compartments. You checked. They weren't so lucky, you guess. Not in the end. You hold up a vial of stabilizer to the light. This is all you find in their compartment, a parting gift from Essen Arp. Well, it won't go to waste now. You put it back in your pocket. Thought still bothers you, though. 2 ships carrying sleepers coming into the same yard. 2, one after the other. That feels wrong. You flick back and forth between datasets on the terminal, thinking, and you see that thumbprint again, the mark of someone trying to get in, someone who entered the Winter Light with precision and speed, and when they were done, left the reactor to clean up the rest. The thought of that person makes you shiver. Suddenly, the office door creaks open. Drago stands in the doorway, staring at the equipment and notes you've assembled. What's all this? He snatches the slate from your desk faster than you realize he could move. You running an investigation here? What am I paying you for? The drone on his shoulder starts whining shrilly, his anger passed to it through his implants. Are you hiding something? Hiding something? I'm hiding you, goddammit! And what are you doing for me? Digging around in my business. He starts shaking his head. I know you have a lot of questions, but this isn't the way. He turns away, muttering to himself. This is the last thing I need. This ship had a sleeper on it. Dragos freezes, suddenly angry. What did you say? He pushes past you to look at the terminal, at the list, shakes his head. So what? Aren't all of you trying to escape? You're lucky it was you who made it out alive, not them. Folds his arms indignantly. Drago seems to steady himself and then turns back to you. The heat map of the reactor failure reflected in the headset's glassy eyes. I've given you a place to stay. I've given you work. He stumbles over the words, unsure what to say. There's plenty of others who would have sold you on, turned you in, but not me, no. I know. He softens. Look, you've helped me too, he quiets the drone. I've done well by you and you've returned the favor. He straightens up and clears his throat. But this obsession you have with this ship isn't gonna work for me. I can't have you making my clients nervous. I can't have you digging up whatever it is you are after. He sighs. You can't work here anymore. Fine. Dragos reaches across you and flicks off the terminal. As the light of the monitor dies, a kind of eerie calm falls on both of you. Whatever this was, it is done. You made it out, Sleeper. That means you have to move on. Someone killed that ship and its crew. And you want to meet him? He shakes his head. We're done here. In the dark, Drago's headset glints, and you wish for a moment you could see his eyes and meet them. Maybe then he would understand. You get up from the desk, and Dragos gathers his notes, stuffed them into a pocket of his overalls. He holds the door off for you, his headset as expressionless as always. You can stay in the container. I won't take that from you. Don't come back. His tone is final, definite, with an edge of disappointment. You walk out of the office and then out of the yard, not stopping to look back. You leave the yard, thumbing the vial in your pocket, knowing that this, at least, guarantees you a little more time. And as you walk, your mind once again drifts to that person who killed the Winter Light, and whether or not that person will come for you. Upgrade point. I really want to put it into self-repair. Ooh, dice actions display potential positive and negative outcomes. Oh, that is good as well. I really want to save up for self-repair, though. I think that's going to be, like, critical in this. So I'm going to save it. I'm going to save it. Can I use the stabilizer? No? If I inject the stabilizer, here we go. How much is that going to give me? Ah, shit! Okay, I could have... I probably did that too early then. Alright. Alright, end cycle. We are now starving. But we've got some dice. Let us pop a 2 into sunbathing. Give me a bit of energy. So I'm no longer starving. Okay. Still no doctor. But we can do more stuff. Right. Somewhere needed a 2. Here. 2. Let's get the data. Some nice Solheim data there. Got a Havenage agent here. Also needs a 2, but we've used the other one. Let's go to Fang. And in that data. Nearly filled up this one, scoping the systems. Got the empty container and Feng's Bay. We got the dock. We got nowhere to work now. I guess I could sunbathe, but... Oh no. We got some 6s and nothing to do with them. One and a 2. Oh, one thing I should check. Oh, God. Forgot that I could move around. Thank you, Nia Gets, for 58 months of Crumpet. Good lord. There's Low End Gate. There's Bright Market. There's a scrap freighter. What's going on here? Can buy some scrap? Or unload the containers. Pay wage to anyone willing to help them. Okay. What about down in the shipyard? What's going on over here? We can haul materials or assist a shipbuilder. So I'm going to put my 5 into assisting a shipbuilder. Hey! Honestly, I might just put it all into there, build up yard hand, and gain a reputation. While I can. Getting some random scrap as well. We can steal plans? That's kind of cool. To learn new locations. Or we can explore. Okay, interesting. What's going on in Bright Market? We can explore the market to find new things. Or we can try and ask for directions. Low End Gate. Is that every time, do you reckon? Maybe. Not worth it right now. I have no specific need to go there right now, other than exploration. So let's get back to the empty container and let's end the cycle. Okay. So we need to sunbathe. Free in there. Good rolls today. We got some energy. Bad rolls for data. Oh, there's more data as well. Okay. So we can't get into the Solheim node. We can't get in. I mean, all the rolls seem to be below 3, and I think that's intentional. Or like 3 or lower. Okay. Because then you've got a place to use your shitty rolls. So that does make sense. Let's go... Where was it? Let's go build that reputation. Is this a shipyard? Yeah. Because we got a bunch of 5s we can turn into 6s here. Hey, reputation gained. Lem and Mina. From the walkway, the sidereal horizon looks impossibly vast, a landscape of plating and frames. All along her flanks, torches flicker, drones maneuver, arc lights glint. The sense of scale, of industry, is both stunning and strangely unsettling. Which is quite beautiful, I think. You turn to see a figure a little down the walkway, leaning at the railing. He's thin, ragged, his work gear poorly fitting and loose. The torches of the sidereal horizon flicker in his eyes as he turns to you. Lem. He leans back from the rail, revealing a child standing beside him, staring out at the ship. And this is Mina. He adds with a smile. Hi, Mina. She stares and tucks herself behind Lem, who dutifully picks her up. She's a little slow to trust, aren't you, Mina? She buries her face in the folds of his overalls. Mina looks out from Lem's chest, a dark brown eye twinkling among the rough material. You working on her, then? Lem asks eagerly, gesturing to the vast ship, or just admiring. He shifts Mina's weights to his other arm. Working. Me too. He flashes a havenage pass. I knew it just to look at you. I mean, he stumbled a little over his words, not wanting to be misunderstood. I mean, you look like a worker. She's Mina's and my ticket out of this place, our escape vector, so to speak. The ship? You haven't heard? Anyone who takes a havenage contract on the sidereal horizon will be entered into a draw for the transit support crew. He smiles. We won't get to sleep the journey, though, but a couple of decades of service will be nothing for me and Mina if it means landfall in a new world. He winks. Decades? It's a long trip. He straightens up, stretching his back. That's a colony ship, friend. The Celis Foundation is sending thousands of people to settle a system well outside the reach of the core worlds. It'll be a totally independent colony. No surrogacy, no corporations. Why is it here? Why build it here, you mean? He grins. Don't ask me. I know as much as Mina about that. He ruffles Mina's hair thoughtfully. I suppose many corporations weren't too happy about breaking with the idea of surrogacy, setting up somewhere without it feeding back to the core. Maybe Celis got locked out of the corporate shipyards and had to go begging for somewhere to set up. Homeless, just like Mina and me. Mina responds by pushing his hand away. Daddy, she whispers. Food. Pulling an exaggerated, grumpy face, she glances furtively at you as she plays with a set of dog tags that hang from Lem's neck. I'm just chatting a little, meanie. Give Daddy a sec. He turns back to you and you suddenly notice how tired he looks. I'm not on the Havenage crew yet, but I'll work my way in. You can do it too, friend. We have to stick together. He smiles a little shakily and you wonder how long he's been working to break into the official shipyard crew. For sure. He looks out at the sidereal horizon as if trying to pull energy from those flickering torches from the vast hull. Gotta hold out, okay? You aren't quite sure if he's talking to you. That's how it works. While he stares out, Mina catches your eye curiously. You agree, Mina? She straightens up and meets your eye. Daddy loves me, she says stubbornly, daring you to question her. Lem smiles and lifts Mina. That's it, we hold on. She smiles sheepishly at you. We're just a couple of softies, isn't that right, Mina? He sets her down, standing by his side, and she clings to his leg. Gotta go feed this one. He pats her back. Maybe see you on a shift, huh? He turns and they walk down the walkway, away from the shipyard. You see them talking, and then a moment later, Mina turns around and stops. See you, robot? A shout echoes down the walkway, and she flashes you a parting smile before running to catch up with Lem. You watch them a little before you turn back to the impossible scale of the sidereal horizon. A ticket out. New drive discovered. Win a sidereal ticket. Works on the sidereal crew get entered into a draw for the colony ship's live-in crew. That's one way off the iron into a new life. Yeah. Unit assembly. So we can do systems fittings or structural fitting. We are much better at structure, so we'll put 5 into structure. Hey! Get more cryo. And some random scrap, which will help us later. I'm gonna do some systems fitting. No, because that's just a job, right? It's just a job. I'm gonna use my 6. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna use my 6 on something riskier. There was. Not that. There was something. The rotunda, wasn't there? What if we do a dangerous engage? Oh, 50% positive, 50% neutral. Ooh, maybe not. Maybe we'll explore the market, right? Because that was risky, right? Or dangerous. We're risky. We'll intuit, and we'll get a positive answer. Get some local knowledge. Nice. We're close to getting enough local knowledge to actually do something about it. Emphis, a street food vendor. Emphis? Emphis, what are you doing here? Emphis is busy. Their broad face uplit by the makeshift gas burner in front of them. With precise, delicate movements, they lay thick chunks of marinated fungus into a dented work, their other hand idly tossing a metal bowl of sliced vegetables in some red-flecked dressing. The smell is incredible. You watch as they fulfill a set of orders, heaping the fungus with a bright salad and depositing it in plastic trays. A stack of chits rattles in their apron pocket as customers file past the burner, handing over payment. You join the queue. It's mostly made of off-duty salvages, vac suits unzipped and rolled down to expose stained vests, grubby mods, a lattice of scars and tattoos. They discuss the best food on the eye, the best drink, comparing notes on bright market dives, their words cut through with heavy spacer slang. Eventually it's your turn and you shuffle to the front. Envis speaks in a deep, even tone without looking up. Can I do impression of Envis? Hold on. Probably not. Probably not. First try is free. Nope. Nope was the answer. Cannot do it. Thank them. The smell is almost unbearably strong as they cook, the earthiness of the fungus laced with something so spicy the smoke makes your eyes water. The heat from the burner is like a bonfire, and your skin hardens in its glare. I know you sleepers. You see, I'd almost do better doing like a kobold voice there. Can I do an Envis kobold voice? That might be easier. Like, it's more pronounced. Hang on, I need water before I try that. I'm not a fool.
Yeah, well, I know you sleepers.
Envis says, while they cook, their voice deep but clear.
A hard life, a lot of stories.
They glances up. they glance up from beneath their cap with piercing eyes.
I know.
Tell them a story. You begin to tell them about your journey to the Eye, and they nod as they cook, their eyes never leaving their work. You tell them of the confusion, the pain, but also the sense of possibility in its sudden arrival. You tell them of the cold and dark of the container and the endless cycles spent within it. Now it seems, you tell them, like some dream that you once had but can never forget. You tell them that the Eye excites you and scares you, and you're unsure where to walk, where to look, what to do. Eventually you tail off, running out of words. They place a plastic tray of steaming fungus in your hand. Next time we can talk some more, they smile.
But next time you pay.
They slam a heavy hand against a button on the burner's side and it shuts off. The roar of the flame and its impressive heat fades.
Next time then, sleeper.
They wave you away and begin to oil the wok. Before you turn back to the alley, you notice the geometric patterns of circular scars across their forearms, each surrounded with a constellation of glinting pin marks. You walk away, and as you do, you take a bite of the rich, spicy, delicately sweet fungus. Your taste sensors light up like a fusion reactor. You'll be back. Alright, but I won't be doing the voice. New drive discovered, eat more fungus. I'm guessing. Get to know Embers. Oh no. Sabine, a slum doctor. Oh my fucking god, I didn't have to wait at the docks after all. I could have just gone to the doctors. Next, comes the call from the enforcer at the door. You shovel down the flickering hallway towards the open apartment door. You keep your head down and your shoulders high in the queue, trying not to bring attention to yourself. You were thankful for the tip-off that a doctor was operating out of the place, but now that you're here, you aren't so sure. The gang enforcer on the door, the flickering light strips, the decaying hab block, they've all made the long queue a test of your nerve. But your options are few, and without a supply of stabilizer, this body, your body, will... You suppress a shiver and shuffle forward to the front of the queue. You try to find something to distract yourself. Look inside. You lean against the doorframe and look into the apartment. The entryway is dark, punctuated by the green indicators of stacks of sealed containers. You lean in and see amber light flittering through a far doorway, screened with plastic sheeting, beyond which blurred shapes move. The slap of the enforcer's palm against the doorway jerks you awake. Wait your turn, he growls. After a few moments, a figure pushes through the doorway and you catch a distant voice. Send the next one in, Toshiro. The enforcer jerks his head and you slip inside, passing through the dark entryway and pushing through the plastic sheeting on the far door. The room beyond is bathed in warm light. A floor-to-ceiling transparent panel gives a full view of the bright market-sealed roof and the buzzing traffic above, and for a moment you're transfixed by the motion. Come, sit, calls a sharp voice. You see a silhouetted figure turned away, replacing the plastic sheeting over the frame of a simple folding bed. You make your way across the room. The figure turns, and as they do, you see an expression of confusion flash across their features. They open their mouth as if to speak, they blink, and then quickly regain their composure. Please sit. They gesture to the bed, then turn to an open case of tools on the table. You sit. Sabine turns, a compact diagnostic scanner of some kind in their hand. They hold it to their eye. Remain still, please. Their tone is clipped and businesslike. You stare ahead, still dazed from their expression when you first entered. Fear, recognition, sadness, unmistakably etched across their face. How long have you been on the station? They ask, the scanner still to their eye. A few cycles. They nod. It's good you came to me. They set the diagnostic scanner on the table. I'm going to start by assuming you don't know anything. They take your arm and roll up your sleeve, inspecting your synthetic skin. Your body is dying, they say it without ceremony, without drama, but not without empathy. I'm currently stable! SNR doesn't like to see its proprietary technology let loose to prevent bodies like yours, frames as they call them, from being stolen, repurposed, or in your case, escaping. They build in a process of so-called planned obsolescence. Frames decay rapidly when not regularly injected with stabilizer, one which S&ARP remains the sole producer of. They look up. Sound familiar? Yes. Good. That may help. They swap to your other arm, running some thin metal device over your skin. You feel your forearm tremble. I'm sorry, Sabine says, and you're unsure if they mean for the cold touch of the metal or everything else. Emulations like you, sleepers as most people know you, aren't classified as people in any of the surrogate systems. You have no rights, no status. They focus hard on the inspection of your arm, and S&ARP has no reason to release Stabilizer into the market. Sabine looks up as if to apologize again, but they stop themselves. I know little of this is of use to you. They turn away, disassembling the metal instrument and cleaning it. Silence fills the room as Sabine works, and then the silence gives way to tension. You stare at their back, willing them to say something, anything. Sabine turns to face you. I may be able to help. They sigh, and you see the darkness under their eyes, hear the fatigue in their voice. They gesture to the door. You saw Toshiro outside? You nod. He works for my benefactor, Yatagan. They're influential in the low end. They give me this space to work, run the door, and take the profits. At the same time, I have to fix up their enforcers, tend to their implants, sew up their wounds. They look away. But Yatagan has connections. And also is the villain in Basil the Great Mouse Detective. Smugglers from the Starwood Belt. Mercenaries working for the corporations on Ember. If they can source the stabilizer, maybe you'll have a better chance. Sabine sets down their slate, their notes complete. This is dangerous, and it'll be expensive, but I think we can do it. Thank you. Sabine walks away to the window, their face dappled by the shadows of passing drones. Let's just see if this works first. I'll let you know when I have a lead. Not Ratagun, the world's greatest mouse. You nod and leave, Sabine still staring out, unmoving. When you reach the lower level of the market, you look back up through the panels of the roof to see if you can see their face, but the room looks dark against the lights of the market. You duck your head and walk off into the crowd. Okay. Wait for Sabine to acquire the stabilizer. Okay. I guess we could make friends with Envis again. And I won't do the voice, I promise. I promise. But I got a bit of money, so we could probably spend it on that. We could order some fungus. Although, to be honest, we're full of energy. We probably don't need it. We'll end the cycle. We'll end the cycle. Getting a little worried. Just a little worried about this tracker. Oh my god, these rolls! I can't use any of these in cyberspace. I don't think there was a single free in here. No, it's all ones and twos, I think, in here. Yeah. Okay. Then we awaken. Let's go back to unit assembly and become a welder's mate then. Me in the mirror when 50 crunches haven't immediately given me abs. My god, my rolls. Hey, we're getting there. Okay, that should finish it off. Beautiful, we got a spot with the welder's mate. Each shift, a crowd of would-be workers gathers outside the shipyard, each of them clinging to a 4-digit number printed on their receipt paper. These are their assignment numbers, and you are either called for a shift or you aren't. As you arrive, the crowd is restless, and chatter rumbles through the lines. For those who, like you, have graduated to the work teams, shifts are guaranteed. Having just walked out of a meeting with a supervisor where you were praised for your efforts, you feel the glow of a job well done. Yet you can't help but feel empathy for those huddled as you pass, waiting for their number to come up. You keep your head down as you leave the shipyard, feeling a little guilty as you do. Hey, sleeper, wait up! Lem's voice trembles as he shouts above the rumble of the crowd, and you turn to see him pushing through, Mina crying in his arms. Lem! Good to see you, friend. He's breathing hard after shouldering through the waiting workers. You made the work team, good for you. He tries to catch his breath, stroking Mina's hair as he does. Shh, baby, give me a second here. He smiles weakly at you as he comforts her, and her cries start to fade. Out of the crowd, he sets Mina down by his side, shiny streaks down both of her cheeks. As he does, you see he's clutching an assignment number on a crumpled piece of paper. Is Mina okay? She's good. We just had to rush up here. He puts his hand on her shoulder and she clings to his side. Esther, who usually takes her, is sick. He stretches. I don't know. A noise sounds from the distance, a klaxon, followed by a list of numbers growing brightly? I'm assuming that's glowing brightly on a display screen. The crowd responds instantly, pushing and pulling as people try to wade to the entry checkpoint. Lem stops and turns back towards the crowd, then glances down at the crumpled paper. That's my number. Shit. Mina. He starts panning the pockets of his gear and glances around. Go, I'll watch her. He blinks a little, staring. Thank you, He crouches to Mina. Are you going to stay with our friend here, okay? I'm going to keep you safe, and he stands back up. Here, take her bag. He shoves it into your hands. She's got food, shit, I have to go. He backs away into the crowd. Mina, I'll be back real soon, okay? Be good. Then Lem disappears into the roiling crowd who are now trying to get into the shipyard before it locks down. Swear to God, if he dies on this job and I end up with a surrogate daughter, this is not how I want this playthrough to go. Mina stands staring, suddenly small without Lem at her side. She fixes you with a dark-eyed look that you can't quite read. Let's move. She holds the stare unmoving. The two parallel tear tracks still glint on her cheeks. You okay, Mina? She sniffs and looks down. Look at the bag. You unlatch the top of the bag and see a few metal containers fashioned from scrap components. A battered slate slits on top, blinking a low battery warning, and tucked beside it is a ragged rabbit, hand sewn. Take the rabbit. You pull the rabbit out of the bag, its long limbs waggling as you do. Mina goes to jump and grab it, but holds herself back. She stands and hugs herself, eyes on the rabbit. What's their name? Mina turns away and looks at the entrance to the shipyard. This isn't going well. Give her the rabbit. You hold the rabbit out and Mina snatches it from your hand. She hugs it tightly without looking away from you. Bun Bun, she says, staring you down, ferocious despite her size. Nice name. You move a little closer as you speak, closing the gap. She looks at you suspiciously, but her face softens a little. She waggles Bun Bun in front of you and then walks him up to your arm and onto your shoulder where he sits. She pokes your arm a couple of times. Are you really a robot? Sort of. Yeah, she thinks. Me too. Mina has more questions. Lots of questions. Questions about how you breathe or if you rust. But before long, you're talking about rabbits and what Esther, the lady who usually takes her, smells like. And whether or not fairies live in the eye's heating pipes. You pass the time like this, sitting side by side on the floor of the hallway, or of the walkway as others pass by. Sometimes talking, sometimes drawing on the slate, sometimes playing with Bun Bun the rabbit. And this is how Lem finds you, just as both of you are starting to yawn. He's dirty and tired, but Mina leaps up his legs and into his arms as he stumbles backwards. You two get on okay? He asks, trying to keep Mina from climbing into his shoulders. We managed. Mina glances carefully at you, hiding a smile that is slowly growing. Well, looks like Mina can be nice. He pokes her in the ribs and she squeals in delight. Thank you, friend. I mean it. He gives you a warm, wide smile. I owe you. Look, he glances around. It seems like Esther, the lady you usually watches her, is going to be out for a spell. If you ever have some time, I'd really appreciate you coming down to our place in the low end. He grins sheepishly. If you have time. But now I have to take this one to eat. He plays at biting Mina and she giggles in response. See you, sleeper. He waves and they stumble off down the corridor, drawing gazes from passing faces as Mina's laughter echoes down the corridor in bright squeals. Take this one to eat. New drive discovered. Help Lem work. Survive. Get to know Envis. I won't get to know Envis right now because I've got like tons of energy. What's happening here? Oh, there's no salvage at the moment. Okay. Someone might be arriving soon, which is worrying. What's happening at the surgery? Sourcing stabilizer. Okay, she's working on that. It's going to take 3 cycles. We have a 6 left. I could do something dangerous. Ask for directions. 50-50. Let's see what happens. Neutral outcome. We lost some money, but we gained local knowledge. New drive discovered. Build a ship mine. You've heard talk of a fabricator owned by the Ort Exchange. With that and a few fragments, you could build a ship mined core. There's the Ort Exchange. Play the Exchange. The flow of chits and components in the Exchange is complex, but a sharp eye and some tight trades can net you a good margin. Oh no. Or I can sell some components. Yeah, I can sell a couple of components. Hey, they'll trust me more that way. I'll keep 3, because I'm going to want to use them myself to increase my condition later on. Yeah. I don't need food. We don't need to see Embers. Low end gate. We're kind of out of stuff, right? Sidereal assembly. Oh, we've got this job now. We actually work on this. That's gonna take a while. That is gonna take a while. But would that get us off the station? I mean, potentially. But we'd need a lot of stuff to keep us going, right? We can't stay on the ship. It'd be decades. We'd need decades worth of stabilizer. Let's end the cycle. Okay. Now we need to go do some hacking. Solheim node here. That's a 1. Extract data. Hunter's getting closer. Have we got any other Solheim nodes? Maybe not. Got a Haven agent though, so we'll bypass them. We've got some Havenage data now. Was that needed over at the Havenage gate? No, this needs Havenage ciphers. Okay. Can I just put an encrypted key in here? No? Okay. It was worth a try. Lem. Not Lem. Though I would like to go see Lem. First of all, over here. Buy a ship mine fragment. Selling them at a high price. We could buy one. This is locked because I'm not good at engage. Oh god, that track is nearly on us. Where should I go? Should I do some work here? Well, let's drop off the intel at Feng's, right? Okay. As you enter the bay, Feng is nowhere to be seen. The banks of servers and machines blink out of the dark in staccato rhythms, unseeing eyes of the station's digital ghosts. Shitheads! Feng's voice echoes from behind a stack, followed by the hammer of a fist on a metal casing. These snaky shitheads! Who's snaky? Sleeper! Feng's smiling head pops out from behind a stack. Just the emulated consciousness I've been eager to see. Come back here. You pick your way between the frumming stacks, trying not to trip on the loose bundles of cables that blanket the dark floor. Feng is sat in front of a set of monitors mounted to a stack. Tell me, Sleeper, what do you see here? Feng waves at a monitor to his side, glowing with pale lists of information. You lean in closer, looking for the links in the data. Tables seem to be filled with personal information, names, genders, dates, ID numbers, all the markers of institutional records. Shitheads? Feng laughs. Maybe not all of them, but what kind of shitheads? Solheim. Bingo! He taps at the terminal. I pulled these from the old data you brought in, all employees of the Eye's original owners, and he leans past you and scrolls the list down. This one is a snaky shithead. He stabs at the screen with a finger. The name reads Harden Hurst. Friend of yours? Feng gives you a sideways look. Funny you should say that, Sleeper. He drags a stool out behind him and motions for you to sit. There just so happens to be a Harden Hurst in Havenage. He waits for your reaction. In Havenage? That's it. He's right here on the station right now. Feng leans back in his chair. Just think about it. Decades ago, Harden worked on this station as a... Feng leans across to look at the monitor. Senior Strategic Operations Executive. Feng raises his eyebrows at you. Our Harden was keeping the money coming in for Solheim. He defined priority growth initiatives by making sure the extractors they contracted out to were hooked into a system that outsourced all the risk and kept the profit. Good old Harden shuttled thousands of Palladium Rush workers into an infrastructure which meant that their cut of the work they did went straight back into Solheim. How'd you know this? I grew up here, Sleeper. This is my history. I'm a child of the collapse. Feng turns back to his screen, staring hard at the strings of code flickering by. Before I was born, my parents were Solheim contractors. They ate in Solheim canteens, worked on Solheim ships, they breathed Solheim air and slept in Solheim beds. Feng's voice rises as he speaks, his hands fists on the terminal edge. And the work that paid for that existence? The cycles of hard extraction out of the belt? Solheim took their cut. This was a company town, so to speak, and my parents were just another in the long line of freelance contractors willing to risk their lives for a shot at anything other than poverty. Disposable. This guy, stabbing at Harden once again with his finger, is unfucking believable. Strategized all that, did the sums, and then somehow, thousands and thousands of cycles later, is still going, still here, crawling in the walls like some shithead snake. He survived the revolution. Surely it can't be him. Feng relaxes a little. Who knows? He turns to you and smiles. So we're gonna go find out. Harden is now a big shot in the shipyards, just a few degrees back around the eye from here. Feng brings up a map at the lower eye. Havenage might be born out of Erlin's revolutionary zeal, but a flat hierarchy it is not. Harden happened to float to the top. Feng zooms in on the far yards. Feng grimaces. The thing is, I don't have access to those systems. The shipyard crew is pretty paranoid and they don't like anyone from systems digging around in their stuff. Plus, we need more than just the name of a Solheim executive. We need proof. Well, I happen to be having an in with the shipyard. That's lucky. Feng holds up a thumbnail-sized drive. I said that bit in his voice. That's where this little creation of mine comes in. I call it a ripple worm. He turns the drive between his fingers. It'll rip through any digital storage and spin out a silken thread of filtered data. This one's set on the scent of Harden Hurst. He hands it over. Getting into the compound might be tricky. Feng puts a hand on your shoulder. But you, however, have a particular knack for remote access. Feng grins. If you can extract yourself a Havenage cipher from a Havenage agent, they sometimes carry them among their data caches. You can crack open the compound's network and slot the worm in through any open port. You never even need to go near the shipyards. Well, never mind. We'll do it remotely then. So what do you say? You up for it? Yeah. I knew it. I knew you'd be happy to catch this snake, and don't worry. Once we nail this guy, I'll start working on that tracker of yours. I haven't forgotten. Feng scratches at his chin. Anything the worm gets, it'll send it back here to me. There's something wrong here, and I aim to get to the rotten core of it. You leave Feng digging through the data among the wires and machines of the old station. As you walk out, you try to imagine the Eye as it once was, a vast machine running smooth and strong, directed by people like Harden. A vast Solheim-built machine into which thousands poured from the surrogate systems looking for a new life. The hope of a better future, engineered to line someone else's pockets. It's an idea you're intimately familiar with. You think of Harden, still alive, still part of this place, and wonder if the past is ever truly past. Oh shit, we gotta kill ourselves a billionaire. I wonder... We have a Havenage agent. No, I needed two. Let's spend this time. We have some money. Let's go to low end and go see Lem. Go into low M. We've got Lem and Mina's unit. There's the free spoke. Founder's Gap. What's this? Can pay for passage there as well. I won't pay for passage there. We're good. It's at the transit hub. We can climb it. Interesting. Oh, it's like a dungeon. Anyway, but let's go visit Lem and Mina. We can babysit. Oh my god, engage? Let's give it a try. Hey! Oh, and we gained energy. Try it again. Nice! We're helping Lem. It's in low end. We can play Tavla. We can block maintenance. Oh, maintain the block. We can maintain the block. Good way to make friends. Okay. Okay. But sleep we must. Oh, worried. Worried about the hunter. We're helping Lem. Okay, we are back. We are so back. First of all, into the internet. We've got to hack this Havenage agent. You like that most areas have a clock? That's just how well people know you. Yeah. Yeah, it's nice. We've got a Havenage cipher now and the Ripper Worm, so we can go up here to the Havenage gate. Slot in the cipher. We now have gate access. We slot the Ripper Worm in, and let's see what we get. Godspeed, little one. When will it be done? Oh, it's just doing it now. Okay. Just gotta wait. I could start working on the sidereal hull, but I really don't think that's a good idea for me right now. I'm worried about this tracker. I kind of want to do right by... Oh, Sabine's got... No, we'll wait on that, because I don't need more condition just yet. I want to help with Lem and Mina, so that Lem and Mina can get out, because I kind of care about them already. I kind of care, alright? Oh my god. Can we get a positive outcome for once? Better. Okay. 50% neutral, 50% negative. Let's not do that. Let's not risk it. We can use that free somewhere else. Where can we use the free well? I guess if we go to sidereal hull, it's a broadly good chance. Hey! Bit of money. We'll take it. Right. Still only got one upgrade point. Maybe I should go and see Sabine, actually. The first thing you see on entering is the glint of Toshiro's implants, like a cat's eyes in the dark of the corridor. He nods you in as you arrive at Sabine's door. The entryway is still dark, and you push through the sheeting into the surgery. I have it. Sabine stands with a case open in front of them. A set of vials lined up inside, separated by foam inserts. They pick one up, rotating it in the warm light. I have no idea how Yadigan they trail off. We should treat this with caution. It looks authentic, but I have no idea if it really is what it appears to be. I'm the test case? That seems to be the case. Unfortunately, I'm not sure we have another choice. They gesture of you to sit on the bed. Stabilizer works under a similar principle to an immunosuppressant in a transplant operation in that it stops your body from rejecting the unfamiliar part of itself. In the case of your frame, the unfamiliar part is each of your biosynthetic organ groups, which over time are identified by your body as foreign material and therefore must be eliminated. Ah, is she going to... are they going to inject me right now with it? That's not good. Because we're fine. We're fine right now. I was hoping they'd just give it to me and then I could inject it whenever I want. Sabine holds up a vial of the would-be stabilizer. However, unlike an immunosuppressant, the stabilizer doesn't do this by limiting your entire immune system. Instead, it re-encodes your biosynthetic organs with new protein chains which act as passcodes within your immune system. The stabilizer refreshes those passcodes, keeping your frame from rejecting all of its own organs. Passcodes? In very basic terms, yeah. They sigh. Look, what matters here is that the stabilizer should be able to encode any organic or biosynthetic matter to be accepted by your immune system. They glance away. At least, if the stabilizer is genuine, the only way to know for sure is to inject the vial. They begin readying the syringe. I'll start with a small dose to limit the risk. Okay, let's do it. Sabine cracks the glass neck of the stabilizer vial and uses a syringe to extract a fraction of the liquid. They tap the syringe and you watch as if any sign might emerge from the clear liquid. You barely feel the needle, your frame registering the initial injection but with little response. A sensation begins to spread from the site, a fizzing, trembling wave that disperses through your arm with incredible speed. Your vision goes white, and when it returns, Sabine appears encased in shards of sparkling light that slowly fade into darkness as you settle back against the bed. You swim in darkness. Muffled noises like an argument heard from underwater, prickling waves of cold. When you sit back up, Sabine is sitting in a chair by the window, facing away from you, backlit by the glow of their slate. Awake? What happened? The stabilizer is genuine. They sit down beside the bed. I don't know how Yadigan acquired a case of this stuff, but they did. Sabine looks troubled, distracted. You should rest some more, but you're going to have to do that somewhere else. They gesture to the door. I have other patients, sorry. Sabine nods towards the case. I'm afraid I can't offer you any more doses. You're going to need to pay for your next dose. Silence fills the room and they return to their glowing slate, looking around the room. It seems somehow different. As if things have moved or shifted. You wonder how long you've been out. Sabine? Nothing comes free, sleeper. Remember that. You manage to get your feet and wander out into the hallway. The queue stretches down the flickering corridor. Toshiro stands impatiently by the door and fixes you with a glare as you leave. You lower your eyes as you stumble past, somehow faintly aware of the station spinning beneath you. Not sure I trust Sabine. Something happened there while I was out. I feel like something happened. Well, we are now in our best possible situation. Yeah, the Ripple Worm is installed and active to deal with this tracker. Like we are fully alive and alert, you know? Oh, fucking hell. These are some rolls. Hold it there, sleeper. Comes a voice from behind you. Don't you run. Good, good. And pats your coat down. You know your master's voice? Even spins around. He's wearing a wide smirk and a slick jacket, and you immediately know he's terrible news. You got all the way out here, and then stayed put? He loves a cruel laugh. At a sleeper thing, you're my first. You barely hear him. You've noticed the handgun he has leveled at your chest. It's hard to take your eyes off of it. He reaches down with his other hand and slips some kind of ring out from a belt loop without taking his eyes off you. Making it to the eye, though, that's pretty good. This place isn't so bad. Bars, markets, people. I pull most of my contracts out of asteroid caves or off of God's forsaken moons. He splits the ring into two perfect circles. It's hard to hit civilization when there's so much space to pass through. He reaches over to slide the rings around your wrists. Go easy. Make a break for it. You see a chance the moment his eyes leave you to watch the rings. You spin, knocking him away and sprint down the corridor. Then the shot rings out, echoing off the metal so loud it hurts your ears. A bullet hole smokes in the wall beside your head. You freeze and even closes the gap. This is a very boring routine, trust me. I've seen it all before. He slips the rings over your trembling wrists. Ethan nudges you to start walking. To the ship and home, he whistles. Going easy. You stumble down the corridor, your hands behind you, your mind racing. We can work this out. Can we? I don't see much in the way of assets in your possession. Ethan yawns and continues to nudge you down the corridor. Shame to come all the way out here just to head back to Essenarp right away. That tracker of yours makes this too quick. Was hoping you'd put up a bit more of a chase, you know, a running battle through the Bright Market maybe, or a holdout in the low end. There's a few establishments I would have enjoyed checking out while I asked around. You walk on in silence for a little longer, desperately trying to think of a way to escape. That Essenarp tracker will be the death of you. Hey, I have an idea, Ethan interrupts your thoughts. How about on the way back to the ship we stop for a drink? I'm buying. He laughs at his own joke. I have a better idea. It's better not be one of those where you do a dramatic pause and then try to jump me, because I'm pretty tired of that. Although, muses Ethan, I've got myself thinking, what's the rush here? Here we are in one of the most lawless joints in the surrogate systems, and we're heading for the exit. He pauses and you trudge on in silence. Okay, here's the idea, starts Ethan. You and me, we make a little agreement. Here are the terms. Turns you to face him. You run, or leave, or try to abandon the Eye, I shoot you. You plot or scheme, you try to kill me, I shoot you. But you come meet me in an establishment of my choice every few cycles and you pay my tab, I don't shoot you. He pauses. You don't pay my tab, he rattles his handgun. You get the idea. I get it. Okay then, that sounds to me like a deal. He stretches. You know, I really thought I was going to have to kill you, but this is so much better. He clicks something at his belt and the rings release from your wrists. I'm going to go see if I can find my old stall at the Compressor Club. Come see me there. He aims the handgun at you, squinting down the sight. Let me just remind you, that body of yours is one big tracker, so don't even think about leaving the Eye. I'll know. Ethan turns and strides off down the corridor, slipping his handgun away. The mix of relief and terror you feel is overwhelming. What are you going to do? Ooh, okay. Hey, Ethan's tab. God. Okay, we're gonna need money. Guess we work on the sidereal, right? Oh, how long have we got? Okay. Worrying. Oh, Lemon Mina, I want to help, but I can't. Anyway, to the internet. We're gonna have to go to the internet first. Got a keynote here. In another encrypted key. Be good if we could find someone to sell all this data to, because that would really help. Maybe we'll get that in a bit. Shit, Hunter. A glimmer in the dark catches your eye. As the orb of Hunter's head appears in the distance, it is looking for you. Run. You turn away and glide back into the cloud, threads of data rushing past. Another glimmer catches your eye, closer now, that roving orb wreathed in tentacles. It flickers, jumps once, twice, and then it is here. Hunter is here.
Entity, submit inquiry.
Hunter reaches for you in that unpleasantly familiar way, its waving threads creating a cage. You struggle. You push against the threads as they close in, becoming frenzied as you push them aside. You're caught by whipping tendrils and feel them pulling you away from the anchor of your body. You push through, clearing the threads.
Entity, hold for processing.
Comes the scream from behind you, but you're already gliding away, back to your anchor, your body. You awake, dizzy, distorted but safe. Ooh, okay. Some more data. We've got so many encrypted keys. I would love to be able to use them. We've got a Yadigan agent. I wonder if I could hack the Yadigan agent. Some info on Yadigan. It's cops all the way down, says Bree. We've got the rogue cop, the hacker cop, the healer cop. Yep, it's cops in the dark. Okay. Open our eyes again. There was some work. it Dock B2? No. We're just gonna do the work on the sidereal, I think. More cryo. A random scrap item, that helps. Blades in the piggy bank. I like that, Summer. I like that. Maybe I should sell some scrap as well. I wish I knew what this tab is going to be. That's the worry. That's the worry for me. I can go to the Ord Exchange, get a better trading reputation. Nick, I can't believe this blackmailer is bad. Nick, I can't believe this demon is bad. Nick, I can't believe these innocent people are suffering because capitalists are bad. I can believe all of this. I just can't believe they are all interested in me. Okay, gaining a reputation now. We've now got access to the Ort Fabricator. Yeah, we've got access to the Ort Fabricator. Okay, so I thought maybe that would improve how much I earn. He'll take it a fancy to you, Crumpet. Maybe don't be so dummy thick if you don't want attention. Wow, are you victim blaming my dummy thick ass? I believe this. So one option is to build our own ship. Do some maintenance here. Make some friends. I'm gonna... Oh, I could have babysat Mina, but no, we're gonna have to rest. We're gonna have to rest. Where's home? There's home. You are. Flatten that ass immediately. No. I'm down with the thickness, and you can't stop me. Okay, we're starving. We're deeply worried at what that tab's going to be. Let's get some fungus. Okay, that boosts our energy a little. Can I boost it a little bit more? Perfect. Right. We're gonna help with Lim and Mina. I'm gonna put a 6 in here and just finish this off. There we go. Tick it out. She's asleep, whispers Lem, creeping back out of the unit's tiny bedroom, sliding the door shut as he does. You're perched at a thin bar in the main room, the slate in front of you still glowing, with Mina and your drawings from a cycle spent together. There's a ring, the only there's a ring, the only world Mina has known, with stick figures standing along its edge. The tall one is you. Drink? Asked Lem, producing a worn-looking bottle of Girol from under the bar, its contents glowing amber in the fluorescent light. Sure. Lem nods and glugs a few fingers into a couple of metal tumblers, then sits down with you at the bar. Cheers, he offers, and you clink the metal containers together. You know, we should have something to celebrate this time around, Lem gives you a sideways look. I made the assembly team on this sidereal. He grins broadly. Clearly he's been desperate to tell you all cycle. Amazing! Lem holds up his drink. Couldn't have done it without you keeping an eye on little meanie back here. Lem shifts a little on his stool. He looks uncomfortable. How's our girl doing, Sleeper? I haven't seen much of her these past cycles. She misses her father. Lem looks away. Yeah, he says to no one in particular. The silence stretches out as Lem takes a drink, his eyes fixed on the bedroom door. She's great. He nods. I can't take all the credit for Mina. She isn't actually mine. He gazes into the middle distance. I pulled her off of a refugee shuttle out by one of Ember's moons. The colony was falling apart for decades after Solheim collapsed, surviving on next to nothing. Eventually, some of the residents tried to make for the eye on these decrepit old shuttles. He sloshes the drink around in his tumbler. They had no idea what they were doing. The one Mina was on decompressed halfway there. Everyone spaced. The only reason she made it was someone sealed her in a weapon locker. She was ice cold when I reached her. Purple lips. He shivers. Once I picked her up, I wouldn't let go. The medics treated her with me still clinging to her. Takes a drink. Still not sure why. He reaches over and refills his cup. We weren't exactly anybody's heroes, you understand? We were private military, hired in by Conway to protect their claims in the collapse, but once I got Mina, that was it. I quit. Got us dumped here. You saved her. I'm gonna sound like an idiot now, but she saved me. That's the truth of it. He looks around the decaying unit, its stained plastic plating and flickering lights. Me, I brought her to this. She was tiny, too small to know what she lost, but I can't stop thinking about it. He rubs his eyes, dark with tiredness. What if our number doesn't come up in the draw, Sleeper? What then? The Sidereal will sail off without a thought, leaving us here. What kind of life is that for her? You'll make it. Sorry, I know you don't have it any better. He looks at his cup and pushes it away down the bar. This is a celebration, right? Both of us on the team now. Both of us in with a chance. Together. That's right, we hold on together. Imagine all three of us riding the sidereal horizon out of here, to a new world. He looks into his glass for a moment. I think I drank this too fast, he laughs. Lem stands and starts to clear the glasses into the auto wash. I need some sleep, friend. Me too. Alright then. He catches your shoulder as you turn to leave. Thank you, Sleeper. I mean it, from both of us. He pats your shoulder and you slip out in the dark of the walkway with thoughts of little Mina on your mind. Hey, drive complete, upgrade point, self-repair. Yeah. Now we can repair ourselves using scrap. In fact, can we do that right now? Well, it's not much, but it helps. Okay, we got some bits left. We could work on the sidereal. Oh, we got a scrap freighter. I don't know if I want to do that. I'm not good at endure. Well, I got a 6, so 100% positive. Let's see what happens. Some cryo. Gained energy? I never understand what's going to give me energy, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to work on the sidereal hull now. I have a feeling I'm going to need to get a ticket out of here soon enough. Cryo. I was hoping for some engineering parts, but okay. We're waiting on Feng. We don't need to go to Ambus. Like, it makes you wonder, like, should I be exploring the free spoke? I'm going to start exploring the spoke because there might be scrap in here. Oh, the text said a colleague shared a meal with me. I should have read. I didn't realize this text updated afterwards. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. There's so much I could have been reading. Somehow, deep in the spoke, you come across a thoroughfare lit by work lamps where groups pass back and forth with ease. Midline Freight Hub. Whoops. Yeah. Ooh, shit. I can steal stuff if I can improve my interface. Okay. It's a bunch of things I could be doing, but none of them require right now. So let's end the cycle. I'm going to briefly have a look at my dough and see how it's doing. Let's have a look. It's right next to me. It's on my PC because it's oh my god, yeah, it's grown. It's getting there. I'm making pizza dough. Oh, okay. We better go to the internet. Oh, let's talk to Feng first. As you arrive, Feng comes striding towards you, taking you by surprise. Let's go, Sleeper! He puts a hand on your shoulder and turns you back the way you came. Follow his lead. He steps into the passageway, guiding you down ring towards the shipyard. Sorry for the hurry, but we have something of an opportunity. That data you ripped, well done by the way, he grins, tells me Harden is making a rare inspection of the sidereal horizon this cycle. It's the perfect chance to confront him outside of that compound he hides in. Feng takes a sharp turn onto a dimly lit side passage. Confront him? That's right, it's the perfect time. Feng slows and slips into a dark service tunnel where, somewhere in the black, a water pipe drips. It's him, Sleeper, the same Harden Hurst. Our worm ripped out decades of records that mention him by name, an entire trail of documentation, from the first days of the Solheim collapse until now. He wrote out the whole thing, slipped into Havenage when it first broke off from the Union. He paces in the tunnel, a hand rubbing at the back of his head. I need you to understand something about Solheim, Sleeper. I don't know what you know about the collapse, but it wasn't as instant as it sounds. It wasn't like Solheim was here running the station one day and the next Erlen's Union took power. Back then, Solheim knew this place was slipping away from them. As the palladium market collapsed, they tried to keep the contractors here working. The pay got smaller, the costs higher. People like my parents were forced to work non-stop just to keep a berth on the station and water in their tanks. Solheim squeezed every last worker until the mistakes, the accidents, were coming in non-stop. And as new waves of contractors came in desperate for work, Solheim welcomed them, taking bribes instead of checking pilot licenses. The whole time, Solheim was folding up, dragged into court cases in the central systems, while this severed limb of a station still desperately tried to take all of it could. The riots came after the collision at Dock 2. A young pilot, his MEV overloaded with palladium, miscalculated his trajectory, took out a section of the ring. Hundreds died, thousands panicked. My parents told me people were terrified, and the blame fell squarely on Solheim. People like to tell stories about Erlen, how he brought the factions together, spoke to the crowds, turfed out Solheim. Maybe that's true, but my mother, pregnant with me, locked herself in the MEV, welded it to the dock, while my father joined the improvised crews trying to seal up the ragged edges of the gap. He never came back. Feng pauses in the dark. They sealed it up though, and by the time they did, Solheim was gone, abandoning every one of us to the black, apart... Feng finally turns to you now, his eyes burning. From shits like Harden, shits who held their place, rode it out and slipped into the new structure like nothing had changed, standing shoulder to shoulder with those they had exploited at every step. Feng starts walking again. That's why I can't just let him strut about the shipyard. This time, his past catches up with him. How is he still alive? Clearly you don't know much about executives. That kind of power comes with certain benefits. Feng rejoins the main passageway, which is now wide and glass-roofed. Through the ceiling, you can see ships in mid-construction, their flanks lit by the flashes of plasma torches. The entrance to the shipyard is ahead. Let's go. Feng grins. Let's go show this shithead some consequences. He strides to the shipyard entrance and pushes through the doors. A web of corridors lead through the complex, snatches of the construction bays always appearing through windows. Ships are suspended like whale corpses, skeletal, imposing. Feng seems to know exactly where he's going, and before long you cross into a huge dry dock locked to the one side of the sidereal horizon. Reese says there's got to be a plot twist here. Honestly, we could just be about to murder a billionaire and I'm okay with it. A network of platforms and scaffolding cling to the ship's hull, filled with workers and equipment. The sound is stretched out by the vast space so that the welding, cutting and sealing seems to come from everywhere at once. Both you and Feng spot them at the same time. A group walking slowly across the gantry, and at the front 2 men, one gesturing towards the ship and the other, stick-thin, cleanly dressed with a shock of grey hair. Harden. You and Feng say his name in unison, and Feng sets off up the staircase to the gantry with you following behind. As you come in to the same level, the group is passing closer, the foreman gesturing to the work being done throughout the dock, and Harden nodding along. Harden Hurst! Feng shouts across the noise, taking you by surprise. His voice bounces and comes back in a rippling echo. The figures turn. Yes? Harden asks, quizzically, raising an eyebrow. He glances between you and Feng, and you see his gaze linger on your body, unsure of why a sleeper might be in this place. You're a traitor, Harden, a Solheim executive who tried to hide here among its victims. Feng's voice is steady, strong. You stand for everything the Eye was rebuilt in the shadow of, against everything Erlen stood for, everything Havenage stands for. You have no place on this station. For a moment, stillness descends on the group, as if everyone is held in place by the rattle of construction. Harden laughs. Well, good to meet you too. He glances around at those around him. Some are smiling, the others nervous.
You're from the systems branch, are you not?
Asks Hardin, inspecting Feng's clothing. Feng turns to the foreman. You need to call your security. This man is a corporate agent. The foreman glances between Feng and Hardin, his hands drumming at his sides. Hardin leans towards him and says something inaudible. The foreman nods. Stay silent. Feng holds up a stick of memory. You guessed right, I am systems, and I have records that link you directly to Solheim right here. He turns to the foreman again. So once again, I am asking you to take this man into the custody of the shipyard. The foreman remains still. Hardin's voice is calm, measured.
If you have such data, why hasn't it been submitted at a members' meeting for proper review?
He shakes his head.
I have nothing to hide, unlike a man who does not announce his name, who enters my shipyard with corporate property in tow and tries to turn my own men against me.
You hear it now, the echoing sound of boots on walkways coming from all angles at once, and then settling behind you.
Please, says Hardin, submit the data through the correct channels and then we can talk. For now, however, you must leave.
He gestures behind you to the security detail, their hands on boxy black sidearms at their sides. Feng spits. Hardin, you shithead, you can't wriggle out of this one. A security officer draws their weapon and levels it. Feng turns and stares him down. I could go for the weapon. We doing it. We doing it. Go for the weapon. As you move, Feng puts a hand on your shoulder. He shakes his head and nods to security. Let's go, says Feng, and he pushes through security, heading back down the walkway. Once security has walked you out of the shipyard and nudged you back into the corridor, Feng picks up pace. You try to keep up as he slips into the shadows of an entrance. Feng is grinning ear to ear. You know, Sleeper, sometimes people are exactly how you expect them to be. Something pings in his pocket and he takes it out. On the slate, a web of connections starts drawing itself out, stretching to a set of points around the ring. Got him, mutters Feng. What's that? That, Sleeper, is something our worm added to Hardin's personal slate. We're tracking his outgoing messages. Feng's grin looks ghostlier in the uplight of the screen. The old ways are best. Spook 'em good enough and they'll give the game away. He jabs at the slate, and you see the web is being drawn over a map of the ring. Lines bouncing from point to point. All these dots, these are Hardin's buddies. The ones he's messaging right now, and we're going to find them all. You tricked me? Not exactly, you did good. Feng glances around and slips the slate back into his pocket. We better split for now, Sleeper, but this is exactly what we need. Good hunting. With a pat on your shoulder, Feng drifts away, back into the flow of people around the shipyard entrance. You watch him go, unsure whether to be angry or impressed. Bree says, oh, never mind, he hacked him. I said it before and I said it again. I like this kid. 1 upgrade point. I do like predictive reasoning. I could get a +1 to endure, but I've not really had to endure much. So I might take predictive reasoning. Instant karma seems good. It does seem good, but being able to see what I'm actually dealing with as consequences seems like a much better choice for me. Okay. Gotta keep helping Feng chase his leads to disable this tracker. We got some ones. Let's spend them on the internet. Got some Yadigan data, some Havenage data, and some encrypted keys. No, that's a 2. That's a 2. 3. Unusual. Anything up here? That's a 1. Extract some data. Encrypted key. Wish I knew what I could do with these encrypted keys. The Yadigan agent. Let's get some Yadigan info. Wonderful. And then we got some 5s. Could do some spoke climbing. Or I could come down here and continue working on the sidereal. It's 15 cryo is all I get from it. But I might get scrap as well, which will help me. I'm going to put one in here, and I'm going to put one in climbing the spoke. Hey, got scrap components, so we can start to repair ourselves. That's great. Because if I can keep myself just pipped up into stable, I get extra dice. So, that's good. And then let's go climb the spoke. Hey, positive outcome. Spoke climber is increasing. Somehow, deep in the spoke, you come across a thoroughfare lit by work lamps. Yeah, we saw that one. Oh no, we've now got PAS import and export. We can sell a ship mined for 150 cryo. Export Matsutake. PAS knows a spacer who'll take Matsutake out to the starboard belt, but only in bulk. Okay. Or buy a ship mined core for 300 cryo. Honestly, we probably just want to make our own. Could reach the Greenway with more opportunities with a bit of money, but I want to keep that because that bar tab is filling up. We're only a couple of days away. No, I want Yacht Fabricator. So I need shard mine fragments, which are coming in on the docks occasionally. Okay. Well, let's end the cycle. Alright. Not great, not bad, not great. I assume everything's okay with Lem and all that, right? Yeah, they're not, like, reachable anymore. I need energy, so we're going to spend a bit of money at Envis. Very nice. Keep working on the sidereal. Because I've got a theory that if I can get a ticket, it increases my chances of giving the ticket to Lem and Mina. We're going to put our 3 on here, turn it into a 4. Beautiful. I think credits-wise we're doing okay. I don't think the bar tab's going to be that high. Hopefully. Let's check the internet. But yeah, honestly, putting a couple of points into interface would be a good idea, because I'll get more dice available, which gives me options. There we go. Really hoping I can use this data soon. Those familiar threads wrap around you, bind you, test you.
Entity separate.
Hunter's strange head bobs in your vision.
Your sealed dock cannot save you.
In that globed head you see whirling strings of data, so many spinning there that they threaten to tear through the thin skin and whip out into the void around. What happened to this creature? The threads squeeze and you lose any sympathy you might have had. You must escape. Strike. You lash out once more, pushing Hunter back, severing threads that regrow as fast as they're broken. As you slip away, you realize you have to find a way to deal with Hunter once and for all. This is getting too dangerous. New goal. New drive. Oh, I lost condition there. I don't have a drive for it yet. Probably because I don't have a way to do it, maybe. We're going to keep working on the cereal then. Oh, no, maybe I'll use this to climb the spire, actually. Hey, finished off Spoke Climber. Nice. Oh, we've got a hub access elevator. Ascend to the hub. Ooh. Okay, we can socialize with spaces. Ooh, okay. There's nothing else on here that I can do. Interesting. Oh, there's hacking up here as well. So that's the only way to get access. Okay. Descend to the rim. So it's in my best interest to open up as many of these things as possible. Give me as many options as possible. Alright. How's that tab doing? Let's end the cycle and find out how big that tab is. It's not going well. Our condition is fading. Stephen's tab. 58? Okay. Got 2 cycles to pay the tab. Well, we can pay that now. Can't believe you just did that. Ethan's mocking laugh comes across the bar. You look over to see him leaning across it in a pool of light, empty glasses and spilled drinks glinting around him. It's always dark in the compressor, but this cycle the place is packed, a load of spaces mixing with the locals. Usually they run. Ethan spins a glass in the bar, or they go spend their savings on some local heavy I have to put down. They don't pay. Ethan gets to his feet. The glass falls and smashes, but he doesn't seem to notice. You think that's it? 1 round of drinks and we're even? Sleeper, come on. His hand comes to rest on the butt of his handgun, dangling from a chest holder. What's wrong with you? Ethan laughs hard, and the people around him turn to see what's happening. You think this is on me? I think someone in your position might have a better idea how this all works. I'm a freelancer, Sleeper, just like you. We both signed a contract with S&Up, didn't we? The difference is that my word means something. He closes the gap, stumbling a little. What did you think? You could just run away from your contract, your debt? You could just steal that natty little body of yours and take it for a joyride? Play human for a cycle or two? I'm nothing like you. That's what I'm saying. Ethan is addressing the bar now, having noticed the attention from the other patrons. You're a coward. I'm a professional. Though I should thank you, Ethan nods, his head heavy, for giving me such an easy job. I'm used to outlaws, you know, real bounties. If I knew catching sad little escapees like you was so easy, I would have changed clients ages ago. Someone shouts from the back of the bar for Ethan to shut up. He holds up a finger in that general direction without turning around. Shoot me or let me leave. Oh, I see. Toughening up here. He gestures wildly at the crowd. Thumbs up or thumbs down, folks? Most turn back to their drinks, no longer interested in this tired show. Ethan mutters insults as he wanders back to the bar. Ethan sits heavily back down on his stool and searches through his glasses for one with something left in it. The thing is, Sleeper, I can find you anywhere. It's actually wild that you haven't figured it out. That body isn't yours and it will always betray you, no matter what. He finds a glass and downs the contents. So please, go. I'll catch up with you whenever I need another. He laughs and taps the bar for a fresh drink. You turn on your heel and you're out of the cloying dark and the sweat stench of the compressor. You walk hard and fast down the walkway, anger driving your footfalls into the metal of the rim like hammers. Ugh, that arsehole. Still, upgrade point. Let's put it into interface. Which actually will give us more money as well, which will help. Or I could do predictive reasoning. Or push towards instant karma like Iris was saying. I didn't realize they were on Intuit. Yeah, honestly, I might do that. I might work towards instant karma because eventually I'm going to be stuck with... like, at the moment, things are relatively easy. Eventually, they're going to get hard, and I'm going to need to get hard with them. And that means having dice that I can spend on anything. Right. I've probably got enough money to pay his next tab, so that's good. I'm going to try opening up this new section. Cross to the greenway. As you step out into the passageway, someone barrels into you from behind, sending you stumbling down the corridor. You turn to see an unfamiliar spacer laden with heavy gear. She steadies herself, staring you down as if daring you to respond. She adjusts a strap on her shoulder, barely giving you a second look before setting off down the corridor. Sorry for her, a second spacer smiles at you blah. Sorry. Let me start again. I'm sorry for her, a second spacer smiles at you apologetically. She's on a mission, and when she's on a mission, they shrug. Not a problem. They smile. You're sweet. Peek! Ah, it's Peek. Sorry. Escher stands further down the corridor, glowering at her friend. She chops at the air, pointing down the corridor to whatever end she is rushing to. Peek raises their eyebrows at you. Escher, please. Do you want everyone on the station to hate us? Escher hardens. They want to hate us. They can hate us. She drops her hip. I'm not exactly seeing much love as it is. We're lucky we got through before they set up that damn cordon. Cordon? Peek gestures in your direction. See? They don't even know what you're talking about. This station isn't Hawthorne. Not everyone has to follow some corporate protocol. Escher sighs. I'm not saying they're part of the administration, she jerks her head in your direction, but I'm saying we need to get those supplies to the Briar before someone starts asking questions. Can I help? Peek smiles slyly. See, Escher? Help. Isn't that exactly what we need right now? Peek? Escher rolls her eyes. Peek ignores her. We're with the refugees, the ones Havenage have cordoned off from entering the station. Escher interrupts. The ones that are being quarantined in makeshift vessels that barely made it to the Eye to begin with. The ones that your station administrators have called an existential risk and are running out of supplies while their right to safety is being debated by people with no stake in their future. She quickly looks away, annoyed at her own outburst. Peek sighs. She's right. People are trapped out there, and they turn to Escher. We understand that this is a big problem for the Eye. Hundreds of refugees and more ships turning up each cycle. They hold up a hand to stop Escher interrupting. But... Escher turns away, her burning anger a palpable force in the close quarters of the corridor. They need supplies, and after everything they've been through, the quarantine isn't helping, Peek finishes. That's difficult. Peek forces a smile. Peek, please. Escher gathers herself and the supplies. Escher, we need help, just like the refugees needed us. We need others too. They smile at her. Peek turns to you. Come find us. The climbing briar is docked at the broken spoke, past the greenway in the wastes. We have a good view of the cordon, though we are keeping our distance for now. Come help us. They squeeze your hand. Escher turns to leave and Peek follows, waving goodbye. A moment later, Escher shouts back down the corridor. Don't bother coming empty-handed. You want to help? Show us. Bring supplies or don't come at all. And with that, they disappear around the corner, Escher already picking up speed as Peek calls for her to slow down. A refugee flotilla? Where are they coming from and why now? Each time you think you begin to understand this place, something changes. Hey, Hanan, welcome in. Hello, what is this? Why is everyone so hot? We're in space. This is Citizen Sleeper. We have the Greenway, Haifa Commune, self-sustaining community. Oh, and this is broken. The wastes, ruined agricultural system. And then we've got Climbing Briar, an escaped XPR ship. There's a lot over here. Was this where the ship crashed? Probably is. Gotta supply Girols. I don't have any of them. But maybe I can get them from... Probably not the wastes, but what's available? You can gather some scrap using Endure. Okay, but I need a +1 Endure to be able to do it. We can work the grow beds. Okay. We'll work the canteen. Both are safe. I'll probably do Endure. Put 4 into it. Hey! Improving my membership to Haifa. That's good. New drive discovered. Join the Haifa commune. Okay. So, what's going on in the Greenway? I can walk the Greenway. Or map the pathways. We can intuit. Take a 75% chance. Hey. Learning about the Greenway. I need to get back and earn some money. Let's cross back to the rim. So, let's head back and work on the sidereal. Should have put a 5 in that. We're improving it. We're getting there. How much money do I need to get more stabilizer? 100. That's a worry, actually. I'm going to need to continue working at the sidereal and hoping I get some scrap out of it. Let's end the cycle. We are now starving. Okay. Got some time. Let's go to Emphas. Okay. Getting some energy. Emphas. Sleeper! Emphas calls out to you, a booming voice that echoes through the corridor. Okay, just because trying to read this as actually being Emphas is an absolute nightmare, I'm just going to go back to this being their own character. Okay? Yeah, no, that's what I was doing. I'm just going to go back this to being their own character. Tell me a story. He throws a handful of chopped mushrooms onto his wok, the fire leaping up to meet the oil. I see you. Cycle in, cycle out, but we never speak. Tell me a story. What kind? Any kind. He pauses to drizzle something from a plastic bottle into the wok. But one of yours. He looks up at you. Nothing stolen. You pause, the spices rich in your nostrils, and think about the kind of story you'd like to tell Emphas. You look at Emphas, the listener, and imagine he has heard it all before. Perhaps he would enjoy a strange story, something with some spice. Tell him about your dreams. All the sleepers, you tell Emphas, had dreams. Some were simple, memories left over from the emulation process that had become tangled up in their minds and would come out when they slept. It wasn't rare to hear a sleeper in the dorm scream or cry out in the night. But your dreams, those grey, skeletal after-images of systems and structures, of threads and patterns, weren't like the others. They weren't memories or nightmares. They were reflections of reality, distorted, yes, but somehow true. You learned back then to keep quiet about them, to let them flow through your mind like water. That was until now, until you arrived in this place. Now your dreams colonize your waking life. They slip behind your eyelids with every blink, and now you understand they aren't dreams at all, but some process of interfacing, of speaking, of living in another world that flows through this one like smoke through air. You tell him that you do not know if there is a reason for your dreams. Perhaps you reason it is just some side effect or particular quality of the frame you inhabit. But whatever it is a gift and you hope to make use of it. Emphas finishes cooking and squints a little at you. Sleeper, he smiles. Quite the storyteller. He eyes you, and you realize that he's trying to gauge how honest you've been in your story. Emphas passes you the meal he's cooked, and you take it gratefully. As you eat, he talks a natural exchange. Thank you, Sleeper. He looks around at the emptying market. But my time is done for today, and I do not want to keep you longer, so I'll make a proposal. He gestures to the plastic boxes of ingredients stacked behind the store. These are good enough for most, but someone told me a story that made me think a couple of cycles ago. They said that across the gap in the Greenway, fresh mushrooms grow. Have you heard this? Yes. Then you already know what I want to ask. Emphas begins packing up his things. Can you bring me some? I cannot cross the gap, and I worry about leaving my things behind. He smiles. I'm sure a storyteller like you could handle the trip. I will prepare them for you, and, if you wish to tell it, be the audience for another story. Agreed. Good! Booms Emphas. Then I will wait for you to bring them. Emphas slides his walk away and straightens up. I will prepare a recipe then, Sleeper. Good luck with your foraging. You turn away and walk back into the main market, the rich taste of Emphas's food still lingering in your mouth. Stories for food, you think, a trade that seems more than fair. Alright, our energy's back up. You love this art, reminds you of Lancer? Yeah, a couple of people have been saying that. Yeah. Okay. So we could go over there and start working on that. But honestly, I need to get money. I need to make cash. I need to make some cold hard cash. Let's go into the internet. Nope. Nope. Here we go, a Yadigan agent. Hey, Anvis. I hope you didn't hear the bit where I attempted your voice. Oh, you don't need that. Whoop, wrong button. I need to open my eyes. Let's work on the sidereal. There we go, a bit more cryo. Oh, I need more money. Ha ha ha! I'll never tell. Oh, I can hand in Yadigan data here? Oh, hell yeah. You missed that? Lucky you. Alright, that's helping with the money problem. Let's see if we can go get these mushrooms then. Yeah, Feng, you ever gonna, like, show up again? I'm getting a little worried. I suppose I should probably explore the rotunda as well. There's so many places to look. But no, let's start getting those mushrooms. Probably not the commune. It wouldn't be the wastes, would it? It would be here, the Greenway. Or maybe it's work with the grow beds. I'm gonna try the Greenway and see what happens. We got a lot of going green there. Okay. Oh, we got mushroom groves and farm stacks. There we go. There's our answer. We just needed to explore. We can get some fungus. Sweet. We'll do that next cycle. Oh, thank you so much, Summer, for the donation. Thank you very much. Whoop whoop. Citizen Sleeper. That's wonderful. Whoop whoop indeed. Thank you very much for donating to the Ko-Fi goal that, again, every month I mention that I have a Ko-Fi goal only when I tell people that I forgot to mention it. I'm really bad for that. I'm really bad for that. I need to remind people that I have like a monthly funding goal. And I forget. Whoop whoop, Nick streams indeed. All right, I think this is probably where I've got to stop because I've got to go make a pizza. It's good that I have it up on my stream now. Yeah, that's the bare minimum. I still forget to mention it, but yeah, that's the bare minimum I should have done. Yeah, I think this has been good. I think this has been really enjoyable. It's one of those really compelling games where you've got like a million different things that you can do next. And balancing plates and spinning plates to do them. And that always just like is really compelling to me. Oh, Feng's out of office on a ticking clock. That's okay then. So there's so much here to do. And I want to talk to... Because Icky's been playing this game simultaneously. I kind of want to know how similar our experiences have been, because I like from this point on, like I'm imagining the Feng stuff happens to everyone, right? Pretty much. And the initial stuff in the tutorial. But from this point on, like he probably didn't have to make friend with Emphis. Could have gone somewhere else. He could have made friends with the Spacers. I've not made friends with the Spacers. There's a bunch of factions going on in here I've not even met. I've done nothing in low end. I could be exploring in here and making friends here. I haven't explored the Rotunda at all. There could be friends in here. There's all sorts going on. Looks very much like your jam. Right now, it is just £5. It is 70% off, 75% off, I think. 70% off, yeah. 70% off right now. So if you wanna grab that, you got that until Valentine's Day. So you've got a few days to check. But yeah, the first one, because the second one's just come out and is also getting rave reviews. Yeah, give it a look. Because like I've gone for a machinist, but anyway, you know, you could start with completely different builds. One thing I would like is if your class meant more than just what your default is. Because God, that really is extremely Tom Bloom art, isn't it? I kind of wonder, did they work on this? I would like, because in Blades what you have is you have a set of specific traits that you get when you level up that are per playbook, per class. I would like that if they added that in so that each one felt a little bit more different than just what you put a base 2 points in. But yeah, I like this. No, the artist is Guillaume Singelin. No, Saint-Gelin. Sorry, Guillaume Saint-Gelin. Best known for the graphic novels PTSD and Frontier. Apparently. Yeah. Did the character art. Alright. I think we're going to stop here. Nick, you fool, if you were making a pizza today, the dough should have been made at minimum yesterday, if not last week. Nah, it's fine. This recipe works well. I don't need to worry too much about the dough, because I've got some equipment that makes pizza really easy. I've got a half-inch thick carbon steel slab. Like, it's a plate of carbon steel. And that heats up to a huge temperature, and then you put the pizza on it, and it's like doing a pizza stone, but the steel holds heat even better than a stone, so it is like incredible. It's also actually like I'm not sponsored by them, but I legit recommend getting one. You can get one for like 50 quid on Amazon. You can get a knockoff one. It also has the effect that, because when you're not using it, you just leave it in the oven. Just put it in the bottom of the oven, right? That extra thickness of metal is going to improve the heat retention of your oven. So yeah, you just keep it in the oven, and that also keeps it clean, keeping it in the bottom of the oven, because it's just getting heated up a lot. Someone borrowed it and let it rust. Oh, I would be so pissed. Yeah, I would be so pissed. But extra thickness is going to improve how your oven works in general, just for anything. So I definitely recommend it. You can get a reasonable one for about 50 quid from Amazon. And you can, I use it for baking bread on it as well, and bread bakes really well on it. Baguettes have been great. Can I link to one? Sure. I bought one for a friend of mine because he was getting into baking, and I was like, my man, you need one of these. So let me find my recent orders. Letting the dough age gives it a better flavor. It does, but I don't have time for that shit. Hold on, I gotta log into Amazon. It's it's because I'm not on the right browser. I've got like container tabs that my man, get a slab. You need a slab. Okay, here it is. Have they got the link? Okay. So this one's £55. There you go. And that'll do. That'll do great. The one I have is like a branded thing. My brother bought it for me. It's a wonderful gift, and I use it all the time. But it costs a lot more. This one will do. This one will do just fine. Anyway, we're going to stop here because I got to go make a pizza. And yeah, I will see you all very, very soon. Let me just see if anyone's live. Nope, not got anyone live, so we're just going to stop.